Well, a very good morning to you, wherever you are following us. We coming from the National Stadium here in Grenada. Again, the NLA GPL T20 tournament. We are actually in the fifth round of games today, and beautiful condition here at National Stadium. We certainly want to welcome you to this broadcast today. As I welcome Ashley Cummins with me this morning.
Good morning to you, Crony, and good morning to you wherever you are listening to this broadcast. It's a beautiful day here at the National Stadium in Grenada, in St. George's here, and also it was mentioned that we may have some light showers, but I'm keeping my fingers very crossed. It's lovely, bright sunshine here at the National Stadium, and it's just good for cricket this morning, Crony.
Yes, certainly, and we're fortunate the fact that even though we have some light shower, we the feel is such that we need not to worry too much about even though the rain comes, it's just a time, but it dries very quickly, so we can boast about that this morning. As we prepare to start today, we're going to go down to the toss quickly and just to have the toss for today's games just before we begin.
We're pitch side for the toss in match number 5 of the NLA GPL T20. St. George's versus St. John. It is a Southwest derby here at the NLA GPL T20. With me at the toss are the captain Cyprian Forsyth from home team St. George's, Dwight Wildman, he's the standing captain for St. John, and we have the match referee, Mr. Anderson Noel. Cyprian has the coin, he will toss, and Wildman will call. The call is a head, and it is a head. It is ahead. St. John's have won the toss. What are the decisions for St. John's?
Well, we decided we have a lot of spinners in the attack, so we'll try to bowl them out cheaply and get the runs.
All right. This is your second game in the tournament. The first game you gave away 179 runs. I'm looking for a better effort in the field.
Of course, we're strengthening the bowling today, so we're looking to make an impact.
All right. Any changes to the squad from the previous? I know you're standing in as captain today, replacing your captain, Morris. Any changes? Other changes?
Yeah, Mishak frame in for Baban, so we're looking to strengthen the batting and also some left arm spin.
All right. So, as you said, you wanted to restrict them. Any total in mind you think you will comfortably chasing later on?
About 130 is a good total.
All right. We want to wish you guys all the best, Dwight Wellman, and hope for keen and wonderful encounter here at the National Stadium.
Thank you.
The Cyprian standing captain, first of all, how's the mood in the team?
Yeah, we're quite happy. We're quite confident. We had a win in our first game, so we're quite confident here today.
Being asked to bat first, is that within the mindset of St. George's?
Yeah, had we won the toss, we were looking to bat, score a big total and look to defend that. So we're quite happy with the outcome here.
All right, you are also the standing captain for your team. Besides you coming in as a captain, so we know that Bronson Johnson is out there. Are there any other changes in the squad?
Yeah, Richard Daniel comes in for Javon Andrew.
All right, and looks like a beautiful strip here, as it's always in a national stadium. What total do you have in mind of setting St. John?
I think anything in excess of 150 would be challenging. If we get anything in excess of that, we'll be quite comfortable. All
right, well, Cyprian, we guys want to wish St. George's all the best in the this match. We know you guys won the first match. St. John would have lost, so it should be an exciting encounter here at the National Stadium. So again, the news from the middle: St. John's have won the toss and they've asked St. George's to bat. Don't go yet. Andy.
And St. George's would have lost the toss. Ashley, St. John's winning the toss and taking the decision to bowl first. What's your thought?
Well, I think I'm looking at the pitch outside there, and based on what the match report had said, it seemed to be a good wicket to bowl on first, and winning the toss, I guess they have the bowling to back what they are doing. So let's see what we just roll out.
Okay, quickly the teams. St. George's team captain is Cyprian Forsyth, Chad Charles, Tyrone Charles, Kem Charles, Richard Daniel, Nicholas Redhead, Cyprian Forsyth the captain, Johan Jeremiah, Javed Hazard, Daryl Cyrus, Javed St. Paul, and Akim Alexis. St. George's team, and opening the batting today would be Johan Jeremiah and Akim Alexis.
Well, the St. John team come from Dwight Wildman, the captain, Randy Morris, Anthony Antwine, Oski Barry, Alex Blackett, Mishak Frame, Ronnie Granger, Ronick Holder, Alvin Ramnath, Anthony Robinson, Isaiah Simon, and Wayne Williams. This is the team for St. John today as we get ready for the game. The umpires are outside there, the lovely sunshine, and St. John seems that they're going to start with spin, Crony.
Yeah, and the umpires, Rupert Holas, and he's from that southern end, and we have in square leg Sean McWarren. And as you said, actually, the conditions are beautiful. Just doing the final touches before we begin, probably just in about a minute time. So we certainly have been able to get everything in place today to make sure that we are off at 9:30, which is the scheduled time.
Well, St. George, the team on the team in the south, they are on. They haven't yet gotten any points from the one game. St. George, 4 points from one game, and St. John, they have no points yet from the game. So it's a winner take it all here today for both teams.
Yes, St. John would really want to begin by picking up the first points against St. George's. St. George's having defeated St. Patrick's, and St. John's lost to St. Andrews. So they would want to turn things around today. And winning the toss and electing the field, I think it's not a bad decision. You look at the pitch, it is a tinge of green, and one gets the impression that they're probably going to come off quite a bit. So it will be interesting to see how the attack at St. John's will be using. As you said, it seems as though Johan Jeremiah going to take first strike, and he's going to face up to the spin.
Johan is no stranger to that kind of attack. Oski Barry is the one going to start the bowling for St. John, and he's going to bowl from the River Road end, I call it.
Yeah, it's all the southern end, River Road end. Yeah.
So Jeremiah, left-handed batsman, and already there's a slip. Gully, extra cover. A man made on. A man in a whitish fine leg area, and umpires are now making the signal, seeing that all is ready. So Barry is going to bowl to Barry, first delivery to Johan Jeremiah. One that is outside the off stump. Jeremiah seemed just to get in the feel of the pitch, and it's a dot ball. Jeremiah, as I said before, is no stranger to this kind of attack. He had played on the 15, he had played on the 19, and he had also been involved in this with the senior team. With the senior team, I've been playing quite a lot of cricket outside in Barbados, so I don't think that his spin attack would not be any stranger to him.
Yes, he's very experienced. One of the young talented players we have, and certainly because of the schooling, I probably haven't gone as far with the Volcanoes, but he is a very good player.
He just run this one down there, and there is no run, 2 deliveries, ball.
Interesting that St. John was started with spin. Certainly, actually, you look back and see what happened last night. One sense now that spin is becoming an important tool even in the T20 games today.
One of the main menu comes in. Johan not timing quite the way he wanted, but getting 6 runs. A lovely shot indeed. He went after it, and getting it out of the ground, and 6 runs. So St. George's, they begin the score 6. Johan is on 6.
Yeah, short delivery bowled by Barry, and that it was given the full treatment. Jeremiah had, all the time to come back and hit it over a deep mid wicket, and it went for 6.
This time he's just playing this one in front of him, and Barry coming back well. Jeremiah opening the face and getting a quick single. Isaiah misfielding, and I think that the coach will be taking note of this. Rushing into the ball and missing it. It's a single, 1 more to the score.
Yes, Isaiah, Simon rushing to Isaiah, Simon rushing to there and just taking his eyes off the ball. And it just gave the batsman the opportunity to complete that single. And, it's certainly he wouldn't be happy with that, with the way he went to field that delivery there.
And the bright sunshine here at the National Stadium in St. George's. Barry getting ready to bowl to the right-handed Akim Alexis. Another experienced campaigner in local cricket. He played this one out. In front of him, for the captain for St. John Fields, is the end of the first over. And the score is 7 without lost.
Yeah, first over being bowled by Barry. Nothing too much, just trying to put the ball there and thereabout. One short delivery that was beautifully struck by Jeremiah for 6. And we saw that misfield just in a short third man region. And Jeremiah picking up another single. 7 without loss after the first over. And wicket pitches seem to be playing pretty well and not much turn. The ball is new, so one expect that the ball is going to come through quite a bit. But first over, and we're now going to see
There's the captain, Wildman.
Wildman coming from this northern end.
Dwight Wildman, campaigner who had played throughout the country and have played some cricket for a long time for St. John's. He had played a number of small competitions, and he's going to be bowling to Jeremiah. Pushing in front of him, and quick response from Akim, so it's 1 more to Jeremiah. Jeremiah moves to 8, and the score on to 8 for a loss of no wicket. Akim Alexis now taking his guard, and St. George's will have in mind to get a good start here, a good platform, so they could launch on later on.
Yes, important. They will want to build a good platform. In the 2020 games, one of the things you would not want to lose wickets very early. The power play, you want to make sure that you have a good start, and certainly lose as less wicket as possible.
Wildman on his way to Alexis. Shot. Asking for it. Long chase. Would he get there? Well, it's a good bit of fielding there from that man down there. We'll get to him in a while. So it's 1 run to Akim. Akim getting up the mark. It's 4 now. The umpire now signal it's 4. It's a ball that was asking for it, Rooney.
Yeah, very short ball, bad delivery, and really deserved the treatment. I don't think Alexis would have get it from the middle or get hold of it as he wanted, as it went bouncing down to that cover boundary, but just was able to cross the road for 4.
Alexis walking this one off the pads. of the pad, and one more to the total unto 13 for the loss of no wicket.
Yeah, good running by Jeremiah. He was really quick off the blocks and pick up that single. And you could see some of the players just fumbling a bit, the St. John's players. At another easy single as the left-handed Jeremiah comes into strike.
Jeremiah hitting over the top. That's gonna go. Let's see, gonna run close to the boundary. A little bit of slowing up there. A lot of long chase there for from the fieldsman, and the batsman only able to cross for 2. Crony, I thought it could have been 3 runs there, but
yeah, bad running there. Again, ball over pitch and just seemed not coming through as Jeremiah was looking to hit through the covers, and he got it over cover. And because it was not timed properly, it really went down slowly down to the boundary, and they picked up 2 really, and should have been 3 runs there. I think they would be a bit disappointed not to pick up 3 runs there.
short. And that's one more to Jeremiah. He moves to 11 and the score onto 16 for no wicket. We are in the second over, and so far so good for St. George's.
Yeah, both players are looking pretty comfortable there. The bowlers are just being a bit on the short side, so it really gave the batsman the opportunity to make full use of those short deliveries.
Outside the Ostom, hitting hard. Simon getting there, just falling short of him. And it's another one to Alexis. Just miscuing a little bit, Dave Crony.
Yeah, the ball is not really coming onto the bat, and as I said before, actually, I think bowling on the wicket, I think is not a bad decision. And again, we are seeing a batsman, they're looking to hit over the top. But again, seemingly playing a bit too early. It went in the air, and Simon, who's at mid-off, had to run back, but was not able to get under it. So again, miscued shot there played by Alexis.
So at the end of 2 overs, Jeremiah on 11, Alexis is on 6, and the score 17 for the loss of no wicket. St. George's put into bat by St. John. Barry's going to continue. Walk up the pad beautifully through a short mid-wicket region. A little bit of fumble again by the fielder in Isaiah Simon, and the batsman were able to cross for 2.
Yeah, a bit of indecision again in the running. Really, there was 2 easy runs there, but they was just struggling a bit, and really need to get the running right.
Barry Bowles very much circumspect is Alexis, and there is no run. Again, Alexis is playing this one in front of him, just getting the ball coming back a little bit inside of him.
Yeah, well, that's a better length. This is where you want to be pitching, and you have to defend both that delivery.
Shot offline, and he's out caught from a one that should be falling somewhere out of the ground, but not timing well and miscuing, and St. John gets the first wicket.
Yeah, again, short delivery, and Alexis just pulling it straight to mid-wicket, and will be very disappointed there, having hit it straight to the fielder at mid-wicket, and who took a very simple catch. 19 for 1, and we are in the third over. St. John's this morning winning the toss and electing to field first. and has picked up their first wicket. Akim Alexis.
Very much disheartened as the same going out there. The new batsman in is Chad Charles. Chad Charles, the new batsman out. They joining Johan Jeremiah, St. George, 19 for 1. And third over.
Left-handed Chad Charles. And
let's see what Barry will do. Again, just bowling there and then just around that area. The batsman was able to just play it out in front of him, and there is no run. St. John getting the early breakthrough. Always good for cricket. Oh, and that's a lovely shot. It's going to go into the boundary now. Lovely shot from Chad Charles. So really good timing there. And getting it across the boundary rope for 4. And he's off the mark. It's 23 for 1.
yeah, good confident shot by Charles. It was a full toss, and he just clipped it over a mid-wicket area, and that went down to the boundary for 4. A good positive start. 23 for 1 after 3 overs. Barry there picking up that important wicket of Akim Alexis. Alexis, who would have scored 40 odd in the first game that he played. Played pretty well. That's against St. Patrick's. But today, again, the difference I see with the spin opening, yeah, certainly would have put him on a little bit more pressure. He was not as fluent, and getting a short delivery, he did make use of it and hit it straight to the field at mid-wicket, and lost his wicket.
So Captain Wildman making the change immediately, bringing on Anthony Robertson as another left arm spin outside the off stump, and Jeremiah has nothing at all to do with it. $23 for 1. Shot on the back foot from Jeremiah. Well stopped there by Anthony Antoine.
Yeah, not timing that, another short delivery there, not timing it.
Again, just on a line outside the off stump there. Not much movement, but well taken by the keeper. Not timing from Jeremiah, looking to play this one through the extra cover, keeping the wrist just a little bit too locked. Just have to open the wrist a little bit, and not hitting the ball, almost ponging the ball in front of him, and there is no run. So far, Robertson been doing what the captain had asked of him. Keep it tight.
Yeah, just having a bit of difficulty in the timing there. His Jeremiah. Yeah, the ball is not really coming on, and certainly it means you'll have to spend more time to play that ball. But he have been looking to cut some shortish deliveries, and just seem to be mistiming.
A little bit of good cricket there. Just touch it, and Chad responded quickly. And it's another run to Jeremiah. He moved. Okay, so frame, just a little bit frame. Frame is the bowler. I was saying Robertson, but it seemed that they had switched the numbers. So Johan Jeremiah getting one that is outside of the off stump, and it's the end of the over. And at the end of the over, it is 24 for 1.
Yeah, a very quiet over bowl there, and we saw a number of shortish delivery outside the off stump, and the batsman Jeremiah looking to cut, haven't been able to get bat on ball. Was able to push the ball down to short third man, and he picked up a single. But not a bad over, not a bad over ball there. His first over is frame, and yeah, he just considered 1 run in that over.
So it's another dose of the spin from St. John, Isaiah Simon. He is one of the players that I know had represented Grenada in the Winners Under 19 tournament out there in Dominica, just 2019. He also played under 15 representing Grenada. So another young man with some experience. And as we getting close to the end of the first power play, he is going to take the attack for St. John. 24 for 1, St. George, after being asked to bat.
Yeah, and Simon come in the right arm around the wicket. He's bowled a slip backward point cover, a square cover on a mid-off on the offside.
What a shot! This one raced across the field from Jeremiah. It's 4 more to him. It's 24 for the loss of 1 wicket. Jeremiah moves to 16 and looking quite comfortable outside the crony. Confidence is growing.
Yeah, short delivery, and it was well played past the backward point. Who dived to his left, but wasn't able to stop it as it went quickly down to backward point boundary for 4. 28 for 1, and Jeremiah is looking more and more comfortable as he stays long at the crease.
This time he on the front foot and just playing it back to the bowler who fields, and there is no run. Jeremiah out driving, that timing well there, this one, and there is no run. 28 for 1. This time he goes hitting hard, through the extra cover. That runs away to the boundary, and that's another 4 to Jeremiah and 4 more to the St. George total. 32 for 1. Jeremiah is on 20.
Yeah, very good shot by Jeremiah. Again, over pitch, and he have been looking to play this drive on numerous occasions, not being able to time it, but this one he hit it sweetly. It went through the covers of 4. Again, he's really beginning to look really good. It's a beautiful shot play there.
Well, the captain and bowler did agree that they're going to push the man right back on the boundary, seeing the intention of Jeremiah as Simon bowls. This time they allow it to go through to the wicketkeeper, and no run. Jeremiah this time not timing well. He has so far 2 4s with 1 maximum. As we come to the end of the 5th over, it's 32 for the loss of 1 wicket. Jeremiah is on 20 and Charles is on 4.
Yeah, a good over there for St. George's. Jeremiah coming into his own, playing 2 beautiful shots in that over. One square cut down to backward point and a beautiful cover drive. And we have seen in that last over there, he's beginning to, the confidence, he's beginning to use his feet as he came down the track and hit firmly down to mid-off, which indicates that really he's beginning to feel good outside there, and he's beginning to get a feel of the pitch.
So frame is going to continue. left armer. Bowling over the wicket. Lovely sunshine here at the National Stadium. Very much condition that is good for cricket. Here is Jerry coming down the wicket. And the batsman is going to cross for 2. Slightly in the air. Not timing all well that he wanted, but accumulate 2 more to make him 22. And it's going to 34.
Yeah, he was not to the pitch of it, and that's Charles again coming down the track looking to drive, and not to the pitch, just able to get it over the mid-off, and they picked up 2 runs.
Oh, that's a good delivery in the block hole there, and he had to dig it out, and there is no run.
And we are seeing that the mid-off have dropped back to long off, so there's 2 fielders, 2 fielders out, and still within the first 6 overs. There's a cover on the boundary, and there's a long off on the boundary.
The balls again, and this is Chad Charles. This falls into the boundary for another maximum. A beautiful shot. Timed it well, came down the wicket, and lifted it out of the ground for 6.
Yeah, good shot. Yeah, actually he was to the pitch of this one as he came down and hit it sweetly over long on, and that went sailing over the boundary for 6. A good positive shot played by Charles.
44-1 St. George. Chad moves to 12. Again, hitting this one in the air, not timing well, but they're going to go back out of square. They're going to get 1. They get 2. The score moves to 42 for 1. And Charles moves to 14. Hitting it again. Airborne, Simon falling back, but this is going to go into the boundary for a maximum. That's another 6. A good hit in there from Charles. Not holding back anything there. He moves now to 20, and it's going to 48 for the loss of 1 wicket. Very expensive over there from Frame. As we come to the end of this over, is 48 for 1, and Charles is on 20.
Yeah, very good going by Charles. Again, he was down the wicket and hitting this one over long on. Again, really using the long handle, and he seemed to be very aggressive, and was able really to hit 2 6s in that over. So he quickly reached 20. It's 48 for 1. Jeremiah is also on 20. Remembering that St. John's won the toss and asked St. George's to take first strike, losing the wicket of Akim Alexis. He was caught at mid-wicket of the bowling of Barry, and that wicket fell with score 19. So this pair certainly is beginning to do the repair work.
So Barry 2 overs for 13 runs, Wildman 1 over for 10, Frame 2 for 17, and Isaiah does the 1 over for 8. That's not feeling well there, so it's 2 runs. 2 runs more to Jeremiah. He moves to 22, and it's the 50 coming up for St. George. 50 for St. George's, and we're going to give you some of the stats for the 50 in just a while. So 50 for the partnership, been 31 thus far, and the current run rate 8.11. So it's very good sailing for St. George for the time being. It comes in on bowl. This one is played out on the onside, and there is no run. At one time, Isaiah maybe just thinking that he might just get this one rush into the pad, but the batsman was very much quick on it. Simon nicely walked up the pad, just a little bit airborne, but the batsman going to cross for 2, and that is 2 more to Johan Jeremiah. He moves to 24, and the score is on to 52 for 1.
Yeah, good run in there by Charles. This one was pushed to mid-wicket, and the fielder on the boundary having to come off, and I was able to pick up 2 runs in the process.
Balls. Jeremiah running this one down to the third slip area, and that goes into the boundary for 4. A beautiful shot. Well timed, well placed. And it's 4 more runs to him. He moves to 28, and the score on to 56 for 1.
Certainly a beautiful shot there from Jeremiah, just using the pace of the delivery there from Isaiah Simon, guiding it through the slippery run, and certainly we can see some intensity from the St. George's batsmen out there looking to capitalize on those straight deliveries, and Jeremiah is looking good, 28 of 22, 3 4s, 1 6s, 1 6.
Well, it's a good partnership thus far. 37, a run rate of 8.40, and it's just too early to have a projected score for St. George, but I guess they're looking for 180.
Well, I think anything upwards of 150, 160 on this wicket should be a competitive total.
Isaiah Bowles and Jeremiah looking for.
Yeah, I think
that's Chad looking to.
That's Jeremiah.
Jeremiah looking to play it off the pad and not connecting.
I think he actually got hit on the helmet. He went through the shot a bit quicker. Simon, he held that one back a little bit, and the slow delivery just looped on hitting Jeremiah on the helmet, and quite.
Yes, look, he get it on the helmet there.
And as we see Simon, always energetic of his own bowling, looking to, he doesn't want to give any runs, trying to stop that one, but he wasn't able to do that. Not a single. And at the end of the over, 57 for 1. And St. George is certainly in the ascendancy here after 7 overs, as we welcome in the voice of Pastor Stevenson Warm to join the comments team. St. George's being asked to bat first, 57 for 1. Jeremiah 29, Charles 20. Certainly a good start and laying foundation for what can be certainly a competitive total later on this evening to set St. John's. Pastor Warm.
Morning, Kerry.
Morning to you.
Nice, glorious day this. Sun has come out with all its glory, setting the stage for what should be a very, very good contest here. Good outfield. We did, in fact, we have noticed quite a number of sandy patches. The ground staff was in fact here yesterday working assiduously, trying to get the ground to match worthiness, and so far so good.
Oh yes, and I think we see some wonderful conditions here, and it's always good when the players can get these top conditions in the country to play on, and the tournament being hosted here at the National Stadium, it certainly goes well for the development of these players.
Change of bowling from the northern Dabo end. That's Williams?
Yes, Wayne Williams. He would have opened the bowl in the last game, and now coming on outside of the power plays. I think it's quite surprising. I think when we look at the power play overs, there was about 5 of those which was bowled by spinners, so probably saying that West Indian batsmen are not good with spin, so we're going to see if we can work at the local level also.
Yeah, there's been a real transformation in the 2020 overs, and also in white ball cricket too, where very much in contrast to what tradition says, just tucked nicely behind square and gets a comfortable single. So these two would have to just restore things for St. George's a bit in Jeremiah and Charles. They've both done very well so far. Jeremiah 30 and Charles 21. So the run rate is 8.05, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and I think those two former national youth players for Grenada, they're certainly looking to continue their strong position that they're in at the moment, and they look quite a good pair outside there in the batting. As you see, they pick up another single. Running has been quite good between the wicket between these pairs. The two left-handers, they're certainly on top at the moment.
Yes, the other admirable thing about the batting so far is the fact that they've been trying to rotate, turn the strike over. There've been the big booming shots, yes, particularly by Charles. But it's when it's in the slot, that's when he's gone for it. But by and large, they've tickled and nudged and nurtled. There's an appeal for cut behind.
The question is it dropped? Because the umpire hasn't signaled anything. The bowler looked frustrated, and I think it's a missed opportunity there for St. John. Chad Charles dropped down the leg side by us, Rondy Morris.
Let's just look at it at the replay. Short delivery down the leg side, did get a glove onto it. And one of those cardinal errors by keepers, just too easy. And he dropped it.
Yeah, I think the batsman too looking at that delivery on replay would feel disappointed. A bit
Yeah.
delivery short on the line of the leg stump, missed on the field line is on the 45, so an opportunity goes begging to pick up some runs.
Sure, right. Pushed up on the onside, on the offside, it goes to for a very quick single. Good batting there. I think good skill. Just dropped it down, played with soft hands. And I've seen other players getting similar deliveries, will push it firmer. This time he just pulled the bottom hand away slightly, ensure that the ball had a little bit of backspin onto it, and got a single quite easily.
Yeah, and
Good run.
Yeah, I think especially in these middle overs, rotating the strikers you have mentioned, which have been doing quite well, it will go a long way towards getting the scoreboard ticked over and help set in a competitive total.
But so far it's been a good over that has just come to an end by Williams, and just yielding 4 runs in his over, 61 for 1.
Yes, it's good start there from Williams. Just 4 singles, and also opportunity to pick up a wicket went begging in that over. So he'll be feeling good after the first one. St. George's 61 for 1 in 8 overs, going just about at 7.5, over 7.5 and over, and with the just 1 wicket down, 9 wickets to go. The conditions looks quite good for batting, so it could be maybe looking at 150, 160 at this stage.
Yes, anything beyond the 160 mark, that is going to be a challenge for any team. Once you get up to 160 in 2020 cricket, you know that you've got a chance in winning the game. That is always, to me, something of a metric total, 160. So Alvin Ramnott, now brought into the attack.
Yeah, Ramnott is one of those veteran cricketers who have been around providing human services in Johns. Might be probably the oldest player on the field, but he certainly still loves his cricket. He's a tough competitor, and always relishes the opportunities for coming up against those younger stars, and certainly will be looking to pose some difficulties to the 2 left-handed batsmen for St. George's. And he shrugs off the first delivery.
Absolutely unbelievable. Came forward and looking to push that up just on the offside. I think the ball came through a little quicker, Kerry, than anticipated, and he was bowled.
Yes, Chad, not one of the batsmen who really fancies a slower delivery, and I think it's one of those dismissal really in the mindset that you're not too sure what you want to do, whether you want to come forward or not, but really missed opportunity there for scoring some big runs today from Chad Charles. Really a soft dismissal at the end of the day, really pushing, not really convincingly, and he goes bowled for 22. So St. George's 2 down, 61 for 2, and out strides number 7, the standing captain Cyprian Forsyth.
Good opportunity here for Forsyth. On another day, he would have been up here in the commentary booth with us, Kerry.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. Well, I think they're playing tomorrow, so probably in the future matches we're going to hear his voice in the commentary booth. And he's one of those players. He's not still a youngster. Still loves his cricket. Very competitive individual, and acts the captain, the squad today in the absence of the regular captain Bronson Johnson. Will be looking to relish the opportunity to probably first of all make a contribution with a bat and lead his team to what might be considered a competitive total.
Johnson today.
Yeah, Johnson just had a little niggle, so they didn't really want to force it because it's still a lot of matches. They still have one more tomorrow, so they wait watching and see how it goes.
Busy cricketer Ramnath, you can see him darting across to his left, and there is something about experience that overshadows youthful exuberance. Driven up to long off and would get a comfortable single there in Forsyth. Ball pitched up, didn't have to do very much, just got to the pitch of it and drove it up to long off. He's off the mark.
Yeah. And as the dismissal of Chad brings in a right-hander to the wicket, so now you have a right-left hand combination, which is going to see some changes in the field. Fielders have to move from side to side.
Oh, he should have taken that. That came back very quickly indeed. His reflexes was, I must say, was pretty good. But quite frankly, you have to be top class in terms of catching ability to take that one. It was coming head high, straight back to him. Let's look at this on the replay. It was struck very hard indeed. And he's just about into his follow through. Came back quickly, just wasn't able to grab it.
I think it's one of those where if they stick, and that's what the best you can hope for.
Appeal for caught behind, outside the off stump, just went straight on with the arm. So he is causing a bit of a problem here.
Oh, certainly the senior statesman in the team is certainly troubling the batsman in the middle.
In the air, down to long leg, bad cricket, really bad cricket. And it goes over the boundary line for 4. So much drama taking place as Robertson was coming across to his right. And yes, he couldn't make it into a catch, but quite frankly, he should have thought about saving maybe 3. The batsman would have crossed for a single, but it went into the boundary for 4. And at the end of the over, 67 for 2.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. He should have made up his mind whether he wanted to take the catch or not, and he could not have got to the catch, so should have really gotten around delivery and saved the runs. Poor effort there, and what spoiled in the end what was a very good over from Ramnot. 6 off his first over with the wicket of Chad Charles, and it's 9 overs, and St. John's would be not too keen with that effort there in the last delivery.
Yeah, I won't be very happy about that at all. I think the platform is being set here with 9 overs gone, 11 overs remaining. I think most teams after 10 overs would want to get up to at least 80. You know, if you're 75, 80, that's all right. 2 wickets gone, decent platform. For the next 10, you want to think about getting 100.
Yeah, and I think St. John's, they seem to be, at this stage, you can just have at least 4 fielders outside the circle, but they have 6 inside the circle, so they're looking to keep the pressure on as Forsyth chops, that's Jeremiah, chops one, wide delivery, chopped onto his stumps, and the pressure being exerted by St. John's is being rewarded with some wickets now. Jeremiah goes bowled by Wayne Williams for 32, and St. John's, they gets another scalp. St. George is 67 for 3.
Whoa. Well, the ball was a little closer to him, I would think, than expected. He probably should have just eased onto the back foot and played the ball defensively out in front of him. But you can see him looking to just pull away a little bit. And in the process, the ball took the inside edge of the bat and went back onto the stump. So he's no doubt disappointed, walks back rather disconsolately. But St. John's have struck. I think they're right back into this game.
Oh yes, certainly. Those wickets there, back-to-back wickets of Charles and Jeremiah, will do really well for the guys outside there. And it's now all about consolidating for the next few overs by the batsmen. As you see, Javed Hazard, he joins his captain Cyprian Forsyth in the middle. So they would have to really be sort of patient and watchful for the next few overs to keep, as we said, wickets in hand, so that they can have a swing towards the end of the innings.
I think Jeremiah would be very, very upset with himself. Soft dismissal. Williams was absolutely elated. St. John's, they're happy with this. The total is 67 for 3 into the 10th over. They're still putting pressure. Let me see, there are 5 fielders outside the off stump, that jack back. And the keeper taking that almost down the leg side. He already had a blemish behind the stumps. So this has turned out to be a very nice contest, really.
Yeah.
It's nicely set up.
Yeah, certainly. And St. John's, they back in their bowling because they felt that the bowling is their strong point. So they would want to restrict St. George's, as we've seen from the previous match. Their batting can be a bit suspect, so they would need to contain St. George's to a total that can be chased when it's their turn at the bat.
Full toss. That should have been put away. Just pushed out to extra cover.
And as you see, the guys from St. John's in the in orange in the middle coming up against the red outfit from St. George's Pastor. Certainly a beautiful sight to behold. Local
Yes.
cricket, coloured clothes, white ball here at the National Stadium.
Off the back foot, cuts the ball down to deep backward point, and that going into the boundary for 4. Now that was cuttable, it was short, and he got right on top of it and cut it nicely behind square on the offside, and it raced across the boundary. There is a fielder down on the sweeper position, but he knew that he didn't have the time to cover that distance, and 4 lovely looking runs there by Hazard.
Yes, we see the replay short and wide, and the field is certainly with the 2 fielders very close to each other in front of the batsman on the offside. It means that the bowler would have to be pitching the ball closer to the batsman.
They go through a very quick single. They'll get it in the end comfortably, because the fielder there just falling over was favouring the shoulder a bit. So Forsyth now comes into strike. The run rate now is 7.32, so it is healthy enough. When it comes down to crunch time, the last fading overs, when you get up to 15, that's when all hell should really break loose. Doesn't sound like a cricket term I should use at all. Sounds rather valid.
Yes, we say it's a slog overs. Those 16 to 14 overs is when the batsmen look to express themselves. But it all depends whether you have wickets in hand that you can really go helter-skelter at the end.
Just wondered though, you have down on the Isaiah Simon, who's down on the long off boundary. Over comes to an end. 10 overs gone. That's right in the middle. And at the end of 10 is 73 for 3. I think you've got to be very selective as to your fielders where you do have them.
Yeah.
I'd love to see taller fielders on the boundary.
And also, I think Isaiah Simon is one of those fielders who are very good close to the bat. He's like live wire in the region, backward point, extra cover. So you'd want to see him in the middle of the action, and placing him. I think we can be generous if we say he's 5'5", 5'6", and that fielder there on the long off boundary doesn't take much to beat him on the boundary. So I think he may be better served closer to the bat for St. John's, where he's much live wire in those positions.
Yeah, those are salient things that you've got to look at where you place your fielders. Key fielders must be placed in key positions.
And as we see, he takes up a position in backward point to the bowling of Ramnot.
There's an appeal for caught behind. Not out, says the umpire.
Yeah, I think that the keeper was just a bit too excited on that instance. You see, the bowler wasn't really enthused. Neither was the most important person outside the umpire holders. So just another dot delivery in the scorebook or the computer of the score.
But Ramnath has really come on very well, has just sprung a little bit more life into this St. John's team. And that's what experience is all about. You could see it in the body language. There's a sense of commitment and also a sense of confidence.
Yeah, and I think Ramnot, you can see, as he said, he's confident in his cricket. He knows what he wants to do. He's not doing much, but he's just coming up, putting the ball between the wicket and asking the batsman to do the rest. And so far, he has been responding quite well.
Yeah, and he's been pushing the ball through him. Won't be surprised if he's coming up to about maybe 95 kilometers per hour down the leg side, and we'll get what should be signal a leg by. Let's wait to see what the umpire Olas was saying. No, you got a little tickle onto that, didn't he?
Yeah, but that one was a bit badly lined there. So missed opportunity there from Hazard. There was a lot of place open acres on the onside. Probably just got a fine tickle.
No, they're gonna press for 2. The return comes into the keeper's end. Not the best in the world. Good run into. I thought with the fielder having to go back, I would think about 30 yards. They had the opportunity because he had to turn and then throw to the keeper's end. maybe should have thought about the angle of his body. Maybe the non-striker's end might have been the preferable end to go to, but selected to go to the keepers. They got 2.
And I think it's important that you run those runs hard here at the National Stadium. It's a big field. As we see an opportunity, Ramnot, he can strike again as the keeper, that is Rondi Morris. He comes foresight looking for a mighty heave towards the leg side. He gets a top edge, skied, and the keeper comes around, completes the catch. And it's the old man, Alvin Ramnot, strikes again. Cyprian Forsyth goes for 9, and St. George's, they're in a Tetris position at the moment, 77 for 4 after 11.
Yes, I think it's fair to say they're beginning to totter here now at 77 for 4. I think Cyprian would deem himself, wouldn't say unlucky really. I thought it was a poor shot, really poor selection. And once it stayed up in the air so long, at least 5 fielders could have taken the catch.
Yeah, as you're saying, that they could have gone outside, have a drink, come back, and still enough time to complete the catch. As you see, Kem Charles, he strides in the middle to replace a Forsyth. So 11 overs down, 77 for 4. A bit of rebuilding work left to be done by the 2 batsmen out there in the middle for St. George. As St. John's there enjoying the most recent passage of play. 3 wickets falling quite quickly.
Yes, and then the batting team obviously would have to think about just redeeming themselves a little bit, trying to stay calm, stay cool. And this is going to be a very critical period, 77 for 4. And these 2 would have to do something restorative. Outside the off stump. Morris has not had the best day behind the stumps. He's already had a drop catch. And that one, if it had taken maybe the outside edge, you'd have dropped it.
Yeah.
He's got hard hands. That's what you can see.
Well, he didn't. He was not the one who was the keeper for the first game. It was Stephen Francis, and we see Stephen Francis left on the bench today. So I think they said they went to strengthen their bowling by giving the gloves to Barry.
Cuts down to 3rd man and will go into the boundary for 4.
Pastor Wam, if you look at those 2 deliveries, you wonder what bowlers think. The first delivery, he pitched it up a bit, caught the batsman driving, he was beaten. This one, he decided to shorten the length, offer him a little bit width, and as similar to the previous over, just guided between the vacant backward point region for 4.
I'm also concerned though about that fielder down on the sweeper position. Just didn't seem to have any energy or desire. They've changed him now and would bring him up into the circle. 3rd man is a little bit on the straighter side. So that's 2 boundaries that went in that vicinity over the last couple of overs. So they're sort of plugging that. I'm still surprised that he's on the straighter side though. Slower delivery. It's down to long off, and the ever-present left-handed Simon is there. Batsman had time to cross for 1.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the action. The ball, as we say, seems to be following him wherever he's in the field. That he's one of those electromagnet, the ball he's coming to. So, but I think that position we're talking about there, Simon can be doing much better justice for his team in that backward point position at the moment.
Yeah, so Williams has picked up 1 already. Looking for his 2nd one outside the off stump, and that's right. You just did in fact make the observation with him dropping the delivery shot outside the off stump, cut away a couple of times. But when it's pitched up, batsmen just seem to have a more challenging task to get it off the square. Then he's supported by the backward point, the extra cover is short, and the long off. So that's every reason why it should be pitched up.
Yeah, and I think that the wicket is so far doing justice to the cricket. We see the bowlers are getting a little something out of the wicket. The batsmen is not, they're doing well also. So it's certainly a sporting competitive wicket produced by the ground staff here at the National Stadium.
If you look at the wicket, in fact, you would see the pitch. There are tinges of green, and every bowling team would want to see that. Love to see something green, which would offer some measure of support to the bowlers.
Yeah, and talking about the green nature of the wicket, you would have seen much more cricket here than I have. But in recent times, I think this is the most grass I've seen on the wicket here at the National Stadium, which is quite good.
Good for cricket. Really is. Clicked nicely through mid-wicket. Now they've got runs here. They should get 2. They will come back for the second. The return comes in to the keeper. 1 bounce. Just pushed him back a bit. And they get 2. Nice clip. Just turned it neatly using the pace of it and clipping it through mid-wicket. And so 12 overs gone. They're 8 remaining. 84 for 4. And they're going at exactly 7 runs per over.
Yeah, 7 at that rate. We will continue to 140 runs, and I think they would want to probably get maybe about 15 or 20 more from what is a par at this stage. As we know, St. John's, their bowling is a strength, so they too would be looking to see if they can keep St. George's under that projected 140 at the moment, because anything of 140, 150 can be a difficult proposition for the St. John outfit. As we see Ramnot about to begin his 3rd over, previously 2 for 10.
Yeah, he's bowled well, really well, with great maturity and skill. Opportunity here for this pair at the crease in Hazard and Charles to bring a bit of redemption for St. George's. Coming forward, driving up to long on is Hazard, the Ambler single.
Yeah, I think he probably got all inside of the wicket, and at the last moment he decided to play it towards the mid-on position. I think he was maybe aiming for more offside, but the ball dipped in at him at the last moment, so it looked a bit comical. But at the end of the day, one more run to Hazard, 1 more run to St. George's.
Ramnath is quick through the air. He's bowling flat and quick. Wrapped on the pad of the P for leg before. Not given out. Paholas.
Yeah, I think probably might, if we see the replay from that one, I think from my position, I think he probably would have gotten struck maybe. That one looked close. That one looked certainly close.
No wonder the keeper and everybody was going up in appeal. Clip down to long on, will get a single. Yes, it looked close. Maybe the umpire felt it was going slightly down the leg side.
Yeah, I think that
can't fault the umpire for that.
I think that too probably was in the thought. Might probably hit just about the middle and leg stump, and the trajectory of the bowling from Ramnot probably might have just carried it down the leg side. But it was certainly a good shout there from the St. John's outfit.
Yes, very much. I just love the skill of Ramnath here. He's very thoughtful.
Oh, no ball, Ramnot. As the fielder, Hazard guides it behind the hands of the fielder there at their second slip. So it's a cardinal sin committed by a spinner. He's been bowling quite well, and that no ball would certainly not be what was required now by his team, as Kem Charles can literally wind up and try to hit the ball as far as he can.
Right, it's a free hit, they call it. So the field cannot be changed, and he won't be dismissed with this ball except he's run out. Comes down the track, hits that down to mid-wicket. Didn't go very far. They come back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. And not gathered well by the bowler. Backing up. They get 2. For a moment, you thought that hit would have gone much further than that.
Yeah, it just dropped literally on the 30-yard circle, and it just dropped, and it stayed right there, you know. St. John's, they pretty in a pretty good over. The last one's just 6 runs, including the no ball and the free hit. So 90 for 4 over number 13. We still have 7 overs left, and with 90 for 4, they'll be looking maybe 70 overs, 7 overs, 10 runs and over from here on out. 150, 160 on the cards.
Yeah, they're about. If they get up to 160, they'll be happy with it. 150, not bad. Williams is in fact getting into his 4th over, so he's gone right through.
Yeah.
So far, 3 overs, no mins. Picked up 1 for 17.
Yeah, I thought he would have wanted to hold Williams back, maybe 1 towards the back end of the inning. He's bowling out now, so it means that the likes of Oski Barry and Wildman would be probably charged with those important overs at the end of the inning, which we wait to see what they may transpire. But I think I was thinking Williams might be held back for 1 more.
Well, they tell you that if it's working, don't fix it. So as far as they're concerned, it's working. 3 overs for 18. That's pretty good. Just over 5 runs per over, thereabout. So I think by and large he's done what he should do so far for his team. Kerry, did I get my math right there?
Yeah, it's just over 5, probably closer to 6, but it's over 5, so you're correct.
Thank you so much. It scares me when it comes to mathematical details.
Yeah.
Terrible at it. Still, I'm terrible at
But
it.
I'm sure one of the aspects of maths you probably not terrible at is the concept of money counting.
I would agree with that. Don't suggest that I'm greedy for filthy lucre, though.
Oh, that's an excellent shot there from Hazard. Probably more flamboyant than it actually paid out to be, but they were able to get 2 runs afield on the boundary. He had a bit of running in to do. I think that is Mishak Frame. 2 runs, and Master, as we are talking about the allocation of players, you have such a heavy set player in one of those busy areas. You thought you
Yes.
might have one of those flitter foot players, might have attacked the ball quicker and probably kept them to 1 run.
I agree with that. That's rather strange, though. Really is strange. Those are things that you need to pick up as a captain. It's like having Jimbo kneeling down at the deep sweeper position.
Oh, the great Jimbo. And he would tell you his best position are close to the bat. He doesn't drop anything.
Oh, he's an outstanding cricketer. It's Rakeem Cornwall we're referring to. Giant of a man, the biggest cricketer in international cricket. Carries his body weight very well and is one of the best slippers in the game now.
As we see Wayne Williams, change of bowling. He's now coming around the wicket, looking to angle the ball across the batsman. And we talk about that fielder Pastor Orm, and guess where the ball goes, and guess where St. George's get 2. So, and opportunity for a 3rd run. No, so Pastor Orm, they might say these guys in the commentary booth are just talking, but I think we would have seen quite a few cricket in our days, so we would know that certainly players are not suited for certain positions.
Yes, they can in fact think about having him at that mid-wicket area, or maybe that short extra cover, or even a backward point, short in. Much better than have him to cover. I would think 120 yards, if you're really looking at it in terms of acreage, and certainly not the right player to be in the spot. Driven up to long off, and we get a comfortable single. So the overs come to an end. 14 overs gone, 97 for 4, St. George's. From all indication, we will in fact have a good day of cricket. Lovely sunshine, lovely atmosphere. Kerry Frank has just left us in the commentary booth and should be having an interview or so coming up shortly. And Ashley Cummins has just come in. I know you love your play on words.
Steve, as always.
So here's Ramnath with another over. This is his final over. Just pushed down by Hazard to the lone slipper. So Hazard remains on 19. Good opportunity for him to come good for St. George's. Looking to clip that down to fine leg. Another bubble in the field. Wouldn't come back for the second as the return comes into the non-striker's end. But the St. John's team can say they have not been as clean and sharp on the fielding as they should have been. Hits that in the air down to the long off position. They will come back for the second. That's good running. And they get it quite comfortably too.
Very smart cricket there by
Charles.
Charles.
So it went between the mid wicket and the long on area.
And that's a good hit.
Would be
Getting-
caught. Drop. Yes, drop down at the deep mid wicket position. Frame. Not
Well-
going across in. Well, got his hand in fact, and dropped the catch.
Well, he was never really in, even if he was running, but never really in a position to really keep that ball in his hand. And why should have a fielder like that down on the boundary line?
So actually, the 100 has come up. We almost missed that. We did in fact miss it. Now 101 for 4. So one landmark has come up. They certainly want to push on to that. They need another 40, 50.
Definitely so.
Hit down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. And they will come back for the second. The return comes in. This is bad cricket. It really is poor cricket by St. John's. Frame is down on that deep backward square boundary, and we can't really understand that. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. He is not the most fleet-footed person on the field, so why have him down on the deep backward square boundary or down on the sweeper boundary? I don't know the reason for it. Now he's at short fine leg.
Well, it's good that the common sense did prevail, that they are pulling out from that area. Sometimes the ball can go ball such, you know.
So I think that brings up the end of the over. Yes, that brings up the end of the over. 15 overs gone with Hazard 23, Charles 9. The run rate now is 6.93. They've put on 27 so far, and both bowlers have come up with their 4 overs. Ramnath, he's bowled very well. 4 overs, no maidens. He's picked up 2 for 23. Williams, 4 overs, no maidens. Picked up 1 for 24. They've done their job very well. As Ashley Cummins will be joined by Justin Hector.
The field is now changing over as the players are trying to respond. St. John, despite having some bit ruffled fielding, but able to contain St. George 104. Thus far, St. John will have the last 5 wickets. For last 5 overs with 6 wickets in hand. Justin, they will be looking to score another 50 runs, I guess.
Well, yes, here at the back end of the inning, the business section of the innings, basically, and whatever St. George's is going to come up with finally will depend on how they go from here on.
Well, I always call it the shopping side of it. That's where you go shopping. So Antoine is going to pick up from the pavilion end.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. 104 for the last of 4 in the 15th over.
Most pin by St. John. They have depended heavily on the slower bowlers, St. John. And I think more and more in world cricket, actually, we've seen the dependent on spin. Smash down the ground, a full toss. And of course, just a single. Could have done better with that, for sure.
Trying to stop whatever boundary at the stage.
Like this time again, a delivery which was well up to the batsman and driven. Probably not really taking full advantage of what was almost a half volley, which he didn't put away.
This time this one is going to run close to the boundary.
Yeah.
They get 2. Good work from Isaiah Simon. Backing up. Running very close on the edge in case the ball is going to elude the fielder.
Almost look at him, he's a real little, like a jack in the box. He's really quick around the boundary. It's again, just
Short outside the off stump and asking to be hit. Not timing all that he wanted, but 2 runs.
We've seen a little bit of, I don't know actually if it's, we had some rain in the last few days. We've seen some patches. If you look on the outfield, you'll see a few patches just around the circumference of the ground. And we've also seen one delivery which was struck high in the air, which just stuck in the ground just as it fell. And we've seen a little bit of problems by the man down on the third man boundary in trying to pick up the ball. So again, delivery, the fielder having to come around a long way to his right. And another 2. So they're doing it so far now in 2s, 1s and 2s. And I think probably needing to just push it a little harder to find the boundaries. And of course the 6s gain wide outside the off stump. Maybe a chance, probably not quite on the end where the ball went, and Morris not doing a good job there. Probably just having something to say to the fieldsman. Difficult to see how the fieldsman was to be blamed for that. A wide delivery outside the off stump, going even further away. And it should have been a piece of regulation fielding, but the ball probably should have gone to the other end. Maybe that's what the captain and the wicketkeeper was trying to say. But at the end of that over, Ashley, the end of it, it's the score. Let's just say Hazard is on 24. Is that what we're seeing here? Yeah. So on 21 over, 9 runs coming off the over. So it's the type of over which St. George's will be looking more to do. We're just standing by us for interview very soon.
So far 6 overs have been bowled, and St. George's have not lost a wicket.
Yes.
So
Terry, yeah. So we go down to the ground for interviewers. Terry will be talking to one of the St. George's players.
We're here on the boundary ropes with Chad Charles, one of the batsmen for St. George's. Chad, your team 111 after 16 overs. What do you think of the position at the moment?
I think we're in a good position. If we could push on a bit, try to get about 150. I think that would be an excellent score to defend on this wicket.
As we see another boundary there from Javed Hazard, so that pushes the score up to 115. You batted, you got some runs. What was the batting wicket conditions like?
It's a good wicket, ball is coming on, a little extra bounce. I think our bowlers will do very well on this wicket. All we need to do is just get some runs on the board and go out there and defend our total.
Certainly now we see Hazard, he's opening up a bit, another couple picked up there off the bowling of Ronick Holder, so 117. This tournament in the middle of a pandemic, how have you guys been preparing for the tournament, and what it's like playing here when cricket is probably the only game in town at the moment?
Well, I know it's been tough times during the pandemic. Having this tournament was a good thing that the Cricket Association did to get us active again. So we're very grateful for this GPL. Hopefully we can do our best in this tournament. All the teams, I know they're looking to do their best, and we also want to do our best. And hopefully we can come out on top. And the most important thing we're trying to do is have fun and be active.
In terms of the preparation, we know it has been a bit difficult issue for teams across the island in preparing, but what has been the preparation like from St. George's?
We had preparation before the tournament. Not what we would want to have, but we've been having trainings. Good sessions with Murray and Leroy. They've been helping us to prepare for this tournament, and just to go out and execute what we practice and what we know.
Yeah, when you look at the St. George's team, the composition, you have quite a few of the senior players in the team, the likes of Bronson Johnson and Cyprian Forsyth. They would have all been former national players. You yourself would have represented Grenada at the youth level. So the composition of the squad, what is like, and do you enjoy going out there battle with these guys?
Of course, it's always nice to compete, As you said, Bronson, Cyprian, myself, a few others, Nicholas. We've played cricket with each other for St. George's over the past few years. It's a very good bunch of guys to be around. You know, they always try to help us in any way they can, you know, and just support us in everything we do.
All right, so it's your first knock in the tournament. We know in the first game you had a niggle, so you had to miss out. I'm quite excited to be playing today.
Of course. Always excited to play, you know. Always excited. As I said, it was a good knock. I mean, I could have done a lot better, but hopefully the next game I can score some more runs.
Finally, these matches are now being streamed. Quite excited of the prospect of the cricket being streamed, your batting performance being seen by your family, your loved ones here in Grenada and around the world.
Oh, of course. Well, I didn't pay too much mind to it. I didn't even realize that I was streaming, to be honest. Just try to go out there, you know, watch the ball and just try to play the ball on its merit as much as possible.
All right, so you said again 150, 160 is the score St. George's have in mind to defend later on?
Yeah, 150, 160. But regardless, if we get 140, 150, doesn't matter. Whatever we get, we go out there and we'll defend it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Chad, and all the best to St. George's, and I send you back up to the commentary booth.
Yeah, and I think it's 124 for 4. And Chad, man who we just spoke to, quite well. And they did express some sentiment, Ashley, about the joy and the feeling of cricket returning. And for the cricketers, it's been a stressful period. And also for the public, I mean, we are here, and the crowd, well, has to stay away. It's not really a nice thing, a nice feeling, even for the patrons, you know.
Well, it's a game of glorious uncertainties, and one thing I know, the certainty is here that we are having cricket, and in lovely sunshine. Simon is back, and it's all good for cricket throughout the world. The players, the lovers, the followers, all of them, very much what everyone really likes.
Of course, all around the world, cricket are almost being played on again. Another chance by Morris. He's been really awful. He's the captain, in fact, Morris, and he has nobody to blame but and really doesn't have good hands at all. And well, in fact, he's not a keeper. He's a spin bowler, and certainly. So it's been like that.
Well, it's all happening outside there with Morris.
Yeah.
Third one he had dropped, and also I'm just missing a
stumping.
Yeah. So does not have good hands with the gloves, but he has good hands.
Yeah. And sometimes you look at Morris, and the body language doesn't speak say much, and it's probably a problem, and it transcends and it's transferred to the team. Looking at the captain, but
we are in the 80th over.
Shot, yes, and the fieldsman having to come a long way, and he wouldn't get there. He goes for 4 through the mid wicket area, through the square leg area. Bad bowling by Simon.
Simon just going off the line there and just asking to be needled around, and he just take it and thread it down to the boundary for 4, another boundary.
Yes, this stage of the game, really, you don't get away with this stuff. Simon is a very short individual, winning number 7 on his back, and 128 for 4. Simon again shot this time. The offside, the place of choice. I think actually if you look at the rate at which the ball and the outfield, which seems to be a little bit slow this morning. Ball isn't really racing across the ground as it normally does. Probably 124, maybe equivalent of 140. One that should be taken, and he's taken. Looking to go over the top, and Kem Charles. And the ball coming off the outer portion of the bat and being taken there in the cover area. So he's gone. St. George's has lost their 5th wicket, 129 for 5. And it's important at this stage, actually, to continue to take wickets as far as the St. John team is concerned. That's how you slow the rates down.
Yes, is it shopping time now? And getting wickets during the shopping time, it means that cash is running out. So it's always a good thing to keep getting wickets. I thought that Isaiah Simon, he has bowled well. He has really been on top of what is happening and always looking for that wicket. And it did really paid up for him. We did not see much celebration coming from him there, but a happy man. with the new batsman coming in. So that's St. Paul.
St. Paul, yes.
St. Paul.
Javel St. Paul.
He can have a big hit at the ball, big heave at the ball. Already I have seen him not connecting well, but that's a man who likes to hit the ball. Javel St. Paul, one of the fast bowlers for St. George. And he's off the mark.
The success came for the bowler when he threw the ball up a little bit and asking the batsman to look up. 130 for 5.
So getting
close. Just a couple. How many overs left? We're now over number 18. So there's 2 overs left. 130. Probably 150 on the card. Yeah.
Yes, 20 runs and 2 overs.
Yeah.
We're looking for it. It all depends on how well this batsman can really get over the bunker line. Let's see what happens. The big man in frame is
Oski Barry.
Barry comes back.
So wearing the number 15 shirt on his back, and his number look even a little bigger than those of the smaller stature.
Yes, well, he's a big man.
Stretches the numbers a bit more, and the number 1 and the keeper back. It says that he's not the number 1 in terms of the keeping. Well, we know he's the captain, so he's the number 1 anyway.
Well, the sun continues to really blaze down here at the National Stadium.
It's a hot day. And, just hit down towards long off as the fieldsman came off the boundary. So, giving away a single at this stage, actually, it would be quite acceptable by the fielding team.
Yes, with a new batsman in the wicket. Always looking to get another wicket when a new batsman comes in, just to slow the thing down and ensure that St. George don't reach 150. That is the plan of St. John.
Hazard is on 39. And of course St. Paul, who has just come in, he will take strike now from Oski, and he gets off the mark. And chase around by Wildman. And just fumbles it a bit. The batsman came back for 2. Seen a few fumbles.
Well, there have been 15 of them. I've been counting them. About 15 of them so far. And not all that good for 2020 for this a game of cricket. This aspect of cricket. You got to be much cleaner on the field. And it's going to always cost you one run or maybe 2 run more.
Barry was taking so far taking a wicket. So St. Paul is on 2, 133 for 5, and off the back foot he goes, and fielder comes off the boundary again, and this time limits them to 1.
Well, in 19th over, when you're only getting singles coming off balls, it's a very good thing for the fielding team.
Yes, certainly. St. George's one time actually probably looked like if they would have gone on to score in excess of 150, 160. Down the track he goes, and that will run into the boundary for 4. He does. So delivery which was crashed down the ground, Ronnie Calder down on the boundary. It was in fact through the mid-off area it went, and it went for 4. What we know?
I thought a little bit of ill discipline by the captain. Knowing that this man is just a little bit too wide, putting him straighter, I don't think that is really what you want a wicket. So you got to have the man a little bit closer to the bowler.
Delivery again. The fielder comes off the deep extra cover boundary. Another single hard. So 139 for 5. We're in over number 19. And really the
a bit over.
Yes. St. John just haven't really carried themselves too well in the field. So delivery outside the off stump, and again a fumble there by Morris. but gets away with it. So at the end of over number 19, at the end of it, Hazard is on 44. 3 is St. Paul. 139 for 5 is what the latest.
Well, it's the last over, and we are looking to see much more sharpening. They got some wickets in hand. Hazard is on 44,
Yes.
and a very good hand played by him thus far. And St. Paul, we know, can hit the ball, and I guess that St. George's will be looking for at least 10-15 runs. 10-15 runs from the last over.
Yeah. So who's going to have it? Yes,
Simon
is going to have it. Look at the figures of Simon so far. Isaiah Simon, he's bowled 3 overs for 23, 1 wicket. Not too bad in these circumstances.
Yeah.
And we look to add to that wicket column. Down towards long off, the fielder comes off the boundary and just almost on the arm flick back to Barry, back to
strong shoulder man.
Yes. You said you described him as a big man. Big men are supposed to do that. Here is now Javel St. Paul. He's on 3 to face Simon. And he gets a full toss and almost make a mug of it, but will pick up some runs. There's so far cross for 1. It's getting close to the boundary and will not get there. So they'll come back for 3.
The umpire now signaled bites.
It was strange. I thought it had gotten the batsman, but no, he didn't. So 3 more by way of extras. Extras have been rather tidy though. It's extras have only been 4 extras so far, which is good in a game like this. And bowlers who does not ply their trade basically professionally. And just a hike down towards square leg. The fielder comes off the mid-wicket boundary, Wildman. And again, there's 2 more. So it's just adding up a bit. And
some good bowling from Isaiah. I believe he has been very tidy. We haven't seen much of the ball going over the rope.
So can Hazard get 50? He's on 47. It's 3 still to St. Paul. 145 for 5. So the challenge is 50 for Hazard or 150 for St. George.
Let's see what's going to happen.
Again, swinging away down towards long on, and Williams comes off the boundary.
No plan in this shot. He just looking to whack it and not much timing. He just reached there and just had a swing of the bat at it, and only a single. At this stage, at having been on 47, you'll be so looking to clear the boundary somewhere.
It's probably swaying on his mind as delivery again down the track and hit high in the air.
That could be out.
That will be
6.
Yeah, it's probably just gone over the top. Yes, over the boundary.
Just about 6 inches.
Yes, just
behind
over
the boundary. This one fell.
So St. Paul has ensured that St. George past 150. They're 152 for 5, and probably this will really settle the nerves. However, the nerves of Hazard probably will still be jangling. He's still on 48, and without the strike, and down the track he goes on another fumble. Boy, it's bold. Is he bold? No, what happened? Sorry. Well, this is a real comedy of errors. The batsman has gave up because he thought probably he was stumped. The stumping was missed, and also the attempted run out were missed. But St. George, however, ended on 153. That is 152, 153 for 5. Hazard remained on 48, unfortunately. Could have been nice to see him get 50. St. Paul, he's on 3, 153 for 3. St. George's ended, and of course it will be a pretty good chase if St. John bats well. And at the end of it, we see right, yes, at the end of the innings, yes, St. George's 153 for 3. And we'll be taking it down very shortly for another interview. Of course, Pastor will be talking to Simon, and as soon as he's ready, we'll take it down for that interview. So, but in the meantime, at the end of St. George finishing on 153 for 5, Ashley, and probably in not a bad position.
It's a good position to be in. Wicket play in there with a little bit of green on the wicket, with a slow outfield. It's all in this for St. George's to be looking to win this game.
Well,
Isaiah, well, 154 your total. Are you satisfied with this?
Yeah, we decided that to go there and make the guys to defend a total under 130, but unfortunately they get 153, so we got to work with that and try and chase it at the end. Yeah.
You folk did not particularly look well in the field. There have been about 17, 18 fumbles, which brought on extra runs. What's the position with your ground fielding?
Yeah, the guys just need to practice more hard and watch the ball and back up every time. Like, I guess more practice than need, Yeah.
What about your own bowling yourself? You're satisfied with your returns today?
No, not today. Today in particular, I didn't bowl as good as I wanted to. So, nevertheless, I had to work with what I get,
Tell us a little bit about the preparation for this particular game. What sort of preparatory work did your team have to do for this?
Well, I practice matches and training in between the week, yeah, and that's the preparation we had coming to this.
Yeah, but of course with the pandemic around, obviously there are different challenges. Did that in any way interfere with your overall preparation for the game?
Of course, it did. Guys couldn't come and, like the quarantine had guys in and couldn't come out, and so, yeah.
Okay, so with the total 154, this is a fighting target. Tell us a little bit about the pitch out there. How supportive has it been for bowlers? And you're trying to get this 154. What's your chances?
Well, first in the morning, the pitch was kind of slow. The sun heated up now, so the ball kind of coming onto the bat. So I think it shouldn't be a problem if the guys go out there and utilize the wicket. Should get the runs.
Could you tell us a little bit about cricket in St. John's? You've got a couple of young players. You represented Grenada back then. Now, any young fellas that you could put your hands on, you think have been doing well?
Yes. I'm from Carriacou, so I could talk about Carriacou.
Well, tell us a little bit about Carriacou, because I'm glad to know that, you're from Carriacou. Yeah. Carriacou has produced Emmanuel Stewart, the only player that has represented the West Indies, at least at any level. Tell us a little bit about what's taking place in Carriacou.
Well, I didn't think you have any cricket going on. No, I know why the issue, why the problem, but guys are training up there, and so they're hasty to play the game, Yeah.
But do we have any outstanding young player that you could think about? You could say, this guy, take an eye on him, because later on we'll be able to see him, performing. Anybody comes to mind?
Of course, you have Josh Edmond, Nicobi John, you have Kazari Charles, and me myself. You have a couple of young guys up there that are doing well. Yeah.
What should be the approach of your team chasing down this 154?
Well, we are go there and bat, stay in the wicket, utilize the wicket, bad balls, put away the bad balls, singles, get it if you could. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Isaiah.
No problem. Thanks.
Well, the truth is the St. John's total, St. John having to go after a victory total of 154. As to whether they're going to get there, we'll have to wait and see. It has not been the best day for them on the field of play. There have been a lot of bubbles and a lot of misfielding, so they'll have to redeem themselves with the bat. 155 is the victory target. Can they get there? Well, we'll wait and see.
Well, I think it's a very good total. It's a good total for St. George's to defend with people like Chad and Redhead. I think they got a good bowling unit. Akim Alexis can bowl a good off break too. So they have won one game. St. John is a team that yet to win a game, and 150, as Simon said, the wicket was playing as it played this morning, but now it's heated up. So we're gonna look for different approach from St. John. I don't know how well. I haven't seen them play for this season thus far, but the rotation of the strike would be very much important. Putting away bad balls. You can't have too many bad balls in chasing 150. The score might be looking small, but it could be very difficult.
Well, just to put a wrap on things, St. George, inning closed 153 for 5. Hazard was not out on 48. St. Paul was not out with 9. Jeremiah got 32 for St. George's off 29 balls. 3 fours, 1 6. Strike rate of 110, not too bad. Akim Alexis, he was caught Ramnath Bowl Barry. He made 8. and faced 9 balls, was a little bit slow, just behind the 8 ball, so to speak. Chad Charles also went to Ramnat. He made 22. Forsyth made 9 or from 9 deliveries. Hazard, as I said, he was not out on 48. Charles, he chipped in with 20, and 9 from St. Paul. Basically formed the total. There was only 5 extras, which was pretty good though, despite all the fumbling we saw. As far as the bowling was concerned, Oski Barry, he bowled 3 overs, no middens, 22 runs, 1 wicket. Dwight Wildman was expensive, 1 over for 10 runs. Frame, 2 overs, 17 runs, no wickets. Simon, who did say in the interview a while ago actually that he didn't think it came out too well for him, but he had 4 overs, 24 runs, 1 wicket, which is quite respectable in T20 cricket. Wayne Williams, 4 overs, 24 runs, 1 wicket. Yes, and so in fact Simon was 4 overs, 33 runs, 1 wicket. In fact, yes, so he was a little bit expensive. Alvin Ramnat, he did a pretty good job in the middle of the run chase. 4 overs, 23 runs, 2 wickets he took. He bowled 1 no ball, 1 of the 5 extras. Anthony Antoine 1 over for 9 runs, and Ronnie Calder 1 over for 11 runs. A little bit expensive too. So as St. George's go through the drills in preparation.
Just looking for the run rate for the chase.
Okay, so 150. That would just be a tag over 7. Yeah, so we having to score maybe just a tag over 7.
You seem to be doing very much better than Stevenson in mathematics. Poor fella.
I think what happened, probably I've learned something from Stevenson, but he probably forgot what he taught me. So don't be too hard on him. We all forget sometime. So as St. George's go through the paces, in fact, for preparation to come out and defend 150, we too actually will take a short break.
But just before we go, just one thing I want to say that the coaches who are listening and what have you, 17 fumbles in an inning on the field, I don't think it's good at all.
At all. We spoke about that, and I think we will probably elaborate more on that when we come back. So we'll take a slight break, and as soon as the action is ready to resume, we'll be back to continue this cast.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number 1.
with the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number 1.
with the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
And welcome back here at the National Cricket Stadium as St. John's, of course, chasing down. So we have Wildman, who is at the crease. Wildman and Morris. So the victory target, Rafael. Good morning. Still morning, isn't it?
Yeah, morning, Bassa. Beautiful morning. Sun shining really brightly. Beautiful condition for cricket.
Yes. So it's a sharp delivery, one that really bounced on him, and you could see him favouring the wrist. So he did, in fact, get hit on it. So Redhead just working up a bit of pace there.
Yeah, good delivery by Redhead. You could see him really running in, and obviously St. George's would want to defend 153. But he's really trying to extract as much as he can get off the pitch. And as we were discussing early on in terms of the pitch with that tinge of green, it is encouraging for the fast bowlers.
He's got a beautiful approach to the wicket. Driven out to squarish cover. Wouldn't score. Was pitched up. Pitched up by Redhead. But I'd like you to look at his running, which looks rather smooth and rhythmical. And decent height too. So, which means that he could generate some pace. So he turns once more Redhead from the top of his mark to bowl to Wildman. Didn't cue that well at all, went out to mid-wicket. I think he's doing well here, Rafael. The first three deliveries, well, the last two deliveries pitched up. The first one was short, reared at him.
Yes, he's certainly attempting to keep the ball up to the bat. I think probably just to remind Wildman that he's a fast bowler. I think the first one was pretty sharp. But since then, he's endeavoring to keep the ball up to the bat.
Outside the arm, some driven over the squarish cover, backward point rather. It was going to go very close to the boundary. They will come back for what would be the second run. Good return from the fielder. Ball just holding up a little bit down at the backward point. They did get one rather than two. Just thought that they had sufficient time to run for two. That's how important it is to run the very first run very quickly and see your opportunities for the second run. So they're off the mark, St. John. Outside the arse, some big wallop as that. That's too early in the game. So the over comes to an end. Good over, good start by Wildman. And at the end of one, St. John won without loss.
Yeah, a bit of poor running in the wicket there. That ball was hit over cover. Pretty close to the cover boundary, and they only ran one. Certainly there was easily 2 runs there, so I think they would have to look at it in terms of the running between the wicket. But again, we see Redhead on his first over just generating some pace. That last delivery again, you could see he got some bounce and pace. But good over, and he seemed to be in good rhythm.
Yes, I like the fact that he's really coming in and steaming in. So this is going to be the second over. It's going to be bowled by Javed St. Paul. This is going to be called a wide by the umpire. It's far outside the off stump. We're outside that line of guidance.
Yeah, just offline. Just seemed, even as he ran up to the wicket, just seemed as though he's not in the right rhythm. And that ball was straight right outside the off stump, and Wildman still looking to go after it. They cut it somewhere down to backward point. He made no contact.
So he's moving in again. Shot outside the off stump and guides the ball down to squarish gully. Backward point preferably. Won't score. So it is, as we said, a bright, sunny, beautiful morning here at the National Stadium. These two teams, St. John's and St. George's, they're battling. Wayward delivery outside the off stump. A little bit surprised that wasn't called a wide. It might have been very close.
Yeah, very close to a wide. But again, Wildman, no movement of the feet. You know, he stood up and just pushed the bat at it. Lucky not to get an edge. But again, pretty close to that line. Umpire Manoring, who is at this northern end. In his opinion, it was well in.
Just turned up on the onside to mid-on, wouldn't score. Just looking at his approach, very much in contrast to Redhead's approach, who is much smoother, much more purposeful on entry. St. Paul looks a little ragged, really. There's nothing smooth about his approach. Let's look at it. Sort of dangling approach. Jacks the ball back into the right-handed batsman.
Yeah, he's certainly right. Looks pretty ragged, and which indicates that he won't have the sort of control that he need to. You know, one of the important things as a fast bowler, you want to make sure you run up a straight, particularly when you're delivering. Just seem to be all over the place in terms of his running.
Yes, he's dangling his way in. It's not a smooth, rhythmic, beautiful entrance to the wicket at all. Yeah, just want to really got to be critical of the approach of Wildman, who gets a couple of deliveries outside the off stump and just pushes the bat at it, but there is absolutely no purpose. There is no sense of purpose. He just seemed to languidly. Let's look at it here now. It's outside the off stump, it is short, and just carelessly pushes at it.
Yeah, no movement of the feet, and the only thing that could have happened is to take the edge and probably go slip on, probably go down to third man.
Delivery that comes back into the right-handed batsman, just taps it. So the over comes to an end. In the end, turns out to be a rather economical over. Just a one run coming from St. Paul's first over. 2 overs gone, 2 without loss.
Yeah, first over by St. Paul, and you can see him there again, trying to bring the ball into the bat, but his line was pretty good in terms of all the deliveries outside the off stump. But again, some are just a bit too wide, and probably on the short side also. You need to bring the ball up to the batter, have the batsman come on the front with the play. He was, I think, pretty much too short in that particular over.
So Robertson will be facing up to Redhead. Let's see how he's going to spare. I just love to see his approach. I just love to see Redhead's approach to the wicket. He's got a beautiful approach.
Yeah, he can also add a very hard worker, very disciplined cricketer.
That's lovely. Gets bongs. Sharp delivery. I look at his approach to the wicket, and there's only one player that is coming into my mind. That's Dale Steyn from South Africa.
Yeah, you're certainly right. You look at him and you could compare him. You know,
what a pity we can't bring up Dale Steyn just to show how he approaches the wicket. But very much similar to that of Dale Steyn. I'm not talking about ability, but I'm talking about his entrance. Look how the elbows are slightly cocked outside the off stump, and naughty looking shot there by Robertson. Just seemed to take his eyes off the ball. Well, I don't like what I see with this opening play at all.
Definitely not. They have no intention of trying to get even behind the ball to play it on merit, you know, but they're going to move away and they're going to swing, and really this is not what you expect in this game. You expect the batsman to look at the ball and play it on merit.
You talk about the work ethics of we can talk about that a bit, Rifel, the work ethics of Redhead.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about
yes, certainly and I say he's very disciplined, very committed. He works very hard in terms of his training. He's always here with the Volcanoes players training. He's one player that will, even one person will just go to the nets. I would have seen him already. He alone will come to the stadium, will do his work, He will run up and bowl for himself. And that speaks volume in terms of his discipline towards the game.
I really love what I see. The batsman was going towards the leg side, the square leg area, so to speak, and the bowler saw him come in red-head and slanted it into the leg stump, but still managed to open the face of the bat and glided up to third man, got a single. So Robertson is finally off the mark. We're into over number 3. Just 3 without loss, so it's slow going here by St. John. Well, he was going for a non-existent single, but this is really lovely bowling. I just love what I see about Redhead. I've not seen him much, but just looking at the manner in which he approaches the wicket, you know fast bowling ability when you see it.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, one of the things that is so key is your run up to the wicket. And if you're able to get it smooth and you have the rhythm, then it gives you the ability to do so many things with the ball. And really, I think he's spot on in terms of the run up.
Yes.
The sea would move slowly and he would develop.
Turn nicely just behind square on the leg side this time as Wildman gets a single. So the over now comes to an end, and at the end of the over it's now 4 without loss.
St. John's 4 without loss, and they are looking to get 154 for victory. And they will be hoping that the opening pair give them a good start. Wildman is the sort of player that he's an attacking player. He really hits the ball, and they will be looking to him to probably get them off to the kind of start, that would put them in a position to really challenge the score of 153.
Well, here's an over. Pitched up. Good nice stop there by the bowler on his follow through. That's Paul. Was bouncing. He's a tall man too, so didn't have to go up too very much, but he was agile enough just to throw up the left hand and pluck it out of the air. What you would usually call a spectator's catch.
Yeah. Again, as you have seen, there's no movement, and you certainly cannot get power into the shot. When you stand there, the bat is away from the body.
Yes. Just doesn't seem to be the perfect foil for an opening batsman. That's one of the fundamental details of batsmanship. Being able to get to the pitch of the ball. The use of the feet is quite important, and especially when you're facing the new ball, which is very often the greatest challenge, with the cherry being new. Down the pitch he's coming and driving back past the bowler, and won't score.
Again, as we look at that shot, I think that ball was fairly well up for the drive. Maybe half volley, but if he were in position, he probably would have hit that ball much harder. The timing would have been better, but he continues to pull his body away and play with the bat far from his body.
Yeah, and his movement down the track was so very early, so that the bowler was able to make the adjustment. Short, sharp delivery, and that was as a result of the previous one, which was which invited the batsman to come down the track. This time he pulled it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is not the start at all that St. John's would want at all. We're into over number 4, and just 5 runs on the board.
Yeah, it's a torrid start for St. John's. The fast bowling really seemed to be having an effect on both batsmen, who continues to play away from from the body.
Yes, I don't think I've seen that in a long time, where two opening batsmen, they play so far away from the body, not using their feet very well at all. More so with Wildman, he is very far from the ball. You've got to get as close to the ball as possible. That's one of the fundamentals of batsmanship. Right up in the block hole. Gets the ball to come into the right-handed batsman in St. Paul. Jacks it back into the right-handed batsman.
Yeah, I think it's just important that the fast bowlers just need to keep it a bit straighter. One probably would have been even tempted to put in a second slip and keep that ball, just closer to the off stump. So having the batsman playing away, give them the opportunity to the ball taking the edge and go into the slip. So.
Or for that matter, if you have a forward leg,
yeah,
with for the short delivery, over comes to an end, and at the end of 4 is 5 without loss, St. John.
Yeah, they really struggling against the opening pair of St. Paul and Redhead. Must say that Redhead really seem to be extracting quite a great deal of pace off the wicket, and he's really hitting the wicket hard. And both Wildman and Robertson just seem to be having some difficulty. Maybe St. George probably should look to be a bit more attacking in terms of having maybe, as I said before, a couple of slips, maybe even the gully. Because what both batsmen are doing, they're really pushing at that ball outside the off stump.
Yes, you need to crowd them at this point and make it as difficult as possible. Here is Redhead once more. Glided down to third man, well, to backward point rather.
Good.
And that's Darryl Cyrus, was it?
Yeah, good stop by Cyrus in the gully. Seemed a good feeler, a very, very good feeler in that position. Move quickly to his left and field.
Yeah, they look much sharper than that of the St. John's team on the field. Redhead once more. Outside the arse stump, cut down to the third man area, goes into the boundary for 4. It was outside the arse stump, and he flashed hard at it. The ball took the outside edge and flew down to the third man area, and the fielder going across it to his right had to cover maybe about 20 yards, but couldn't cut it off.
Yeah, just giving a bit of room there, and Wildman just looking to slash it somewhere. I think you were looking to probably hit it a bit squarer, keep up the edge, and went down to that third man region. Ball went bouncing down there, and the fielder coming across just wasn't able to stop, but actually bounced it into the boundary.
Way outside the arse stump. I know that would be called a wide, confirmed by the umpire. Holas, arms extended like a bird, ready to take off for its flight. Talking about flights, not many flights taking place in the region now, Raphael.
Yeah, that's certainly change in what usually happen.
Yes, a friend of mine heard an aircraft passing overhead some time ago and said it's been a long time since she had heard an aircraft in flight.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room in the sky. I mean, not much plane flying around, much more room available.
Yes,
it's really different times, and
well, the pandemic is here, and to see this game taking place in the middle of a pandemic, I think it augurs very good for cricket and for people as a whole, because people just want something to do. The pandemic has been severe, affected livelihood. Well,
good bowling by Redhead, because he just seemed to follow the batsman there. As again, he looked to give himself room to move his body away to play, and that ball, as he bring it closer to him, it really put him in a really, really awkward position, with no way to play that delivery.
Yeah, the bowler saw him coming, and he was moving a little bit outside the leg stump, so he followed him and almost offered a return catch to Redhead on his follow through. So Robertson lived a little dangerously. The delivery before, pitched up right up on the leg stump, pushed out to extra cover.
Yeah.
Nice to know that there's still a couple of fast bowlers in the region who are ready to work and work hard in the game, and you could definitely see that this young man bowling in Redhead, you can see he's somebody who works on his game. Just his approach to the wicket alone tells you that he does work on his bowling.
Yeah, consistently in the gym, and really does a lot of work.
Hits in the air, that's down to the extra cover area. It's not going to go very far, but they will come back for the second run as the return comes into the non-strikers end. The bowler picks up. Now he doesn't seem to be quite happy. That's Redhead, as the over comes to an end, and at the end of 5 is 12 without loss. Seems to be favouring something. He's been bending over a few times. In fact, bending over now, Raphael. So whether there's a problem with the boot, or we don't know whether his boot is a bit uncomfortable. Well, whatever the case is, they're off to good starts in Georges, with Robertson 7, Wildman, who has played and missed on so many occasions, he's not out 2. So Redhead none for 10 of 3.
Yeah, it just seemed to be bending a bit. Again, he's bending a bit. One hope is nothing too serious, but have been walking pretty good as you go down to long leg on the boundary.
Whoa! There's a delivery outside the off stump. This is maybe almost a double wide, if you want to call it that, as Tyrone Charles has taken over from Jabal St. Paul from the northern Odabo end. They usually call them looseners.
Yeah.
But that was that was more than a loosener. It was way outside the off stump.
And Tyrone Charles, a young player who would have played well, represented Grenada. He also played on the 17 level for the Winners.
Delivery outside the off stump. Looking to cut, but didn't make contact. It's a bit wide too. So 2 deliveries on the wider side, but the umpire didn't think that was wide enough, sufficiently wide enough to be called a wide.
Yeah, I think that was just inside the line. So I think it was a good call by the umpire. Tyrone Charles, another hard worker. Really spent a lot of time on this cricket.
Outside the off stump, that one seemed to move a little bit off the seam after pitching, moved away. And that last delivery that he bowled, he just seemed to get closer to the umpire. The previous 2 were a little wider.
Yeah.
But this time he came just a little closer to the umpire. And that's always challenging when you're getting close to the umpire and then getting the ball to move away from the right-handed batsman. Always challenging, because there is not a second line of defense. Pushed up to extra cover. Again, not the best of footwork there by Wildman. But if you got the ball, Raphael, coming into the right-handed batsman, and you get an inside edge, or you miss it, then it could cannon into the body. But when it's moving away, they're not a second line of defense at all.
Yeah.
That's why I always think the ball that moves away from the batsman is the more dangerous one.
Yeah, that's right. That it has always been a discussion in terms of which one is probably one considered as the most dangerous one leaving the batsman, or the one coming back in. The delivery that is coming back in probably is more difficult to play than the one that is leaving, in that when it comes back in, you have to guard against so many things.
That's correct.
Right? When it leaves you, you could just come and the ball just leaves you and that's it. Where so many things can happen with the ball coming back in. I always see it as a bigger challenge in terms of the ball coming back into the bat. But again, that is,
Yes.
debatable. But,
Well, that's Rayfield's argument, which of course is authentic and has got a lot of weight in it. It's just the context that when that ball leaves, nothing. It leaves you, and if it's coming in, then you could be hit on the pad. You get on the inside edge, it could go onto your pad. When you get that outside edge, it's going to go to the slip.
yeah, it's certainly more difficult to play the ball as coming into you. It's really more difficult to negotiate or to play than, in my view, the ball that leaves you. I mean, it's 13 without loss at the end of the over. With the ball that is leaving you, you could cover, you could pick a line, maybe you could drop your wrist, you could sometimes do that. You can't do it with the ball coming back in. You must play.
Right. Well, those are the arguments. Of course, the skilled, learned Rayfield Crony is arguing and saying why he thinks it's the more difficult to play. 6 overs gone, 13. The power play has in fact just ended. And not very often you see in a T20 where at the end of the power play you've got only 13 on the board.
There had to be some effort now to really try to get the ball away. I think both batsmen have been basically flaring away with the ball passing. They're just trying to reach it with the bat only. The body is not moving, and there have to be some effort if they're going to make any attempt to get close to the score. I think both batsmen really had to change their mood in terms of how they play.
Well, there's a bowling change from the far end as Redhead comes out and Daryl Cyrus is brought into the attack. So spin for the first time. Tug down to long on, and we get a comfortable single. So Robertson now goes on to 8. Wildman comes into strike. He's had so many deliveries and he scored only 2.
And
many of them he didn't get the bat onto at all.
And just to say, he's really out of context in terms of Wildman, in terms of how he plays. He's a dashing sort of open batsman that likes to hit the ball. But again, the difference here, he's having slow bowlers coming at him, and he's finding difficulty to get the ball away. With the pace, he's gonna really swing his bat and so forth. But I think he's really having difficulty today.
Outside the arm stump, looking to cut. Must be a rather miserable time for both batsmen outside there, really. They look really out of sort. Glided down to third man, didn't get the single. As Johan Jeremiah running across very quickly to his left, cut it off, so the over comes to an end. Just a 1 run coming off Daryl Cyrus is over. He'll be pleased with that. And at the end of 6-14 without loss.
Yes, pretty tough going for St. John. And really, they're having really difficulty to get the ball off the square. 14 without loss after 7 overs. Really is an uphill task for the St. John's team. And something really would have to give at this moment, if they're really going to compete in any way in terms of trying to get to that score. As Tyrone Charles, he continues from this northern end and basically bowl into one slip, a third man on the boundary, cover point, cover mid off, long off, a heavily packed offside field, and long leg mid wicket, and a long on the leg side.
So he's moving in, and nice try, nice approach, steaming in approach to the batsman. He's getting the ball to move away from the right-handed batsman, and that's why important for him to come, I would think, just a little closer to the umpire, and he's got to bowl just around that off stump line. Induce the batsman to come forward. He's got a slip, and in my humble opinion, he could think about putting another slip in.
Yeah.
So, Wildman has faced 29 deliveries for his 2 runs. Out of those 29 deliveries, 27 have been dot balls. Outside the off stump, looking to hit that through the extra cover area. This has been a really dismal opening pair. I don't think any captain or any team would like that sort of start. Even if you get that in test match cricket, it looks a little slow.
Yes, and certainly that was full enough to be driven. But again, when you look at the replay and you see where the batsman is, and it's really difficult to see them getting that ball away very soon.
Big swish of that outside the off stump, and almost like though he takes his eyes off the ball. This has been horrendous batting. It really has not been good batting at all, especially for your who are supposed to be 2 premier batsmen. I say premier because if you're opening the innings, then you've got to be one of the premier batsmen on your team. Outside the off stump again. Well, no call a wide by the umpire.
Yeah, outside the off stump. Just about on the line there.
Well, it's the umpire's call, right?
Yeah. Again, the batsman in no position to play to get to that delivery.
Wow. You just thought that St. John's may have had a better approach to this more spirited start to the innings. It's dismal. On to the leg stump and driven up to long on. Gets a single as Jeremiah is hailed off the boundary, sets the return. Full toss, and that could have been hit practically anywhere. Made a meal of it. Maybe he could have thought about hitting that between the long on and mid wicket area. When you get full tosses, you've got to make good use of them. They're one of the balls you've got to capitalize on. But it's not always that easy as it may sound, or seem rather. Batsman that's Wildman down on the knees and driving out to extra cover. You might be hearing quite a lot of admonitions hurled out from our microphones, sensitive microphones. But all those admonitions and encouraging words, they don't seem to be having much an impact on the batsmen. There's Charles again. Should be his last delivery in this over. Short one and well bowled. So the over, it's called a wide. Okay. The umpire has just signaled that it's a wide, and I've already told him, well, that's one for the over. But it was a sharp delivery.
Yeah, kind of a bit harsh there, but there's some strange things happening there by Robertson. You see him moving down the wicket even before the bowler bowl, and really really having a swish of it, and really was in no position. And I think Charles would have seen it coming and really would have put some extra into it. Probably just about shoulder height in my view, but the umpire is in the best position.
Yes. Pitched up and will in fact get the single. Got it on the full. So that completes the over. And well, with 8 overs gone, 18 without loss.
Yeah, it's really really bad batting by St. John's, and this a full delivery that was bowled, a full toss. But the batsman was really in no position to get any power into it, and just played it back past the bowler. I don't see how they would begin to score, begin to hit the ball, but it's really been poor batting by the St. John's team, and maybe someone will have to try to do something different, maybe just to see other batsmen that come in to try to see if things can be better. And no, we have them 8 overs been bowled already. It's 18 without loss.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the other batsmen inside might be saying.
And well, certainly there's no message that we have seen gone out. So,
well, here is Darryl Cyrus. He's been to his second over. He's none for one so far. And he's bowling out to Wildman outside the off stump and looking to swish that. It's the best I can say. He's looking to swish that somewhere.
yeah.
And looked ungainly, looked awkward and almost like a cow on ice. Didn't make contact. This time he's driving straight up to long on. Well, back past the bowler as long on comes across to his left, picks up and sends a return back to the bowler. The batsman had time to cross for one.
Yeah, Cyrus, he's just giving the ball some more air and closer to the batsman, so he was able to push his one back past the bowler.
Tugged down to long on and would get another run. So when you look up, Raphael, you see 20 without loss. Now, if you don't look in the bowler's column or in the, you will think that on the overs column, you will think that, oh, that's impressive. It's 20 without loss, but we're in over number 9. Opportunity for a run out here, missed by the keeper. Ball was hit just behind square on the leg side. Good opportunity for a run out. I think that the fielder there, which is St. Paul, Javel St. Paul, didn't get the return back very well. It was a little bit on the high side. The keeper wasn't very happy with it, and the batsman got home. All is well that ends well, they say. Yeah, he's looking to play the scoop shot, and so he's gone. Caught at slip. Well, finally, we're all surprised that they've lasted so long. So he is just gone. That's Robinson. Caught at slip. I think it might be Forsyth taking the catch. And so that's the first wicket going down. So St. John now 21 for 1 as Robertson caught Forsyth of the bowling of Cyrus. He's gone for 10, 19 balls, 37 minutes at the crease, just a 1-4. And well, maybe his dismissal may just turn out to be something good.
Well, let's hope so, but it really have been awful batting by both openers. And as you said, it probably was just about time before we see someone do something to get out. But what we have seen this morning certainly is not been encouraging. I think St. John's obviously will have to go back to the table, have to relook probably the opening pair, maybe look at the strategy. I thought they did very well this morning. They bowled very well against St. George's, actually putting St. George's under some pressure at one point in time, having been able to remove players like Alexis and Jeremiah very early, 60 odd for 4 St. George's. So I thought that they did very well in terms of the bowling. But that's the first part of the game, But the batting certainly hasn't followed up to any degree
At all.
In terms of how they started this morning.
So Meshach Frame has just replaced Robinson. Opportunity for him to push the score around as Cyrus, who's spinning the ball from hand to hand, comes in. He's in defense and plays leg before he's out. Well. It looked so nonchalant. He came forward, Frame, and really was looking maybe just to push it out on the onside. The appeal went up, not with any great sense of exuberance, and then umpire Hola said that's out, a little bit belatedly too. So Frame goes back, but he was there demonstrating he's not very happy at all. I'm not sure what the situation is. We probably will just get an opportunity to look at the replay, but he's not happy at all with the dismissal.
Well, certainly it was a very good decision. The replay just came up. We're going to probably see it again, but he just came across the ball, came into him, and it was it was struck right in front. I probably would have hit middle stump. So I think that his movement, when he was hit, he moved to the offside. So the indication, probably that it would have missed or hit outside the off stump. But it's a very good decision. Very good decision. He just came across and seemingly played across the ball.
Didn't get the impression. Now let's look at it here. So this is the second one. It's pitched in line, doesn't get a nick onto it. I don't think he's going to argue that he was hit outside the line. So just wondered why he was so upset about the dismissal. Well, so they've lost the second wicket with frame leg before to Cyrus without scoring, and Randy Morris is now come in, hit down the ground.
It's Kim.
Sorry, that's Kim Charles. Beg your pardon. So they've lost a couple of wickets rather quickly. It was 20 for 2 just a few minutes ago. It's now 22 for 2. Shot down the leg side, will call a wide, confirmed by the umpire, quite rightly too. That was slanting down the leg side. The keeper came across nicely and collected it, but it was confirmed a wide. So St. John's are really on the back foot here. They've got to do something quite extraordinary to bring themselves back into this game, because they're far deep into the woods right now. Outside the arm stump and hit that down to the deep extra cover position. They will in fact come back for the second run. The return comes into the keeper. It's a good one. Covered good, made good coverage out there in the deep. Was that Charles?
Yeah.
And set back a good return. Outside the off stump by Charles. Keeper collected well behind the stumps. So Kemp Charles into his first over. Just the 4 runs coming off his delivery so far. Outside the off stump, cuts down to the point position. And the batsman were a little casual about that, refill.
Yeah, it was good feeling by the backward point fielder at the end, really. Could also get the non-striker running in some trouble. It was good feeling.
Bush down to long on. Bowler couldn't really cut that off on his follow through. So that completes the over, is it? No, one more to go.
So
yes, they're saying that's the end of the over. So with we're just at the halfway stage now. 10 overs gone, 27 for 2, and Justin Hector is going to join Raphael Crony. Not good going at all, Raphael.
Yeah, 27, 2 for 27 in 10 overs. I don't think this is what St. John's would have wanted. Again, Kem Charles first over off spin. Pretty good over. Be able to pick up that important wicket in the over. And certainly St. John's being pushed back again, losing the second wicket with a score on 20. 27 for 2, and we are in the 11th over.
Yeah, then a bit stuck there, the St. John team batting unit, not really being able to maneuver the ball, and too many really extravagant shots, and not a lot coming off the sweet spot of the bat. 27 for 2. Dwight Wildman is on 7, 3 to Randy Morris. It's Kerry slipped in alongside me. Delivery. And just coming off the boundary there to to field. The ball was pushed up on the offside. So another single to St. John, 28 for 2. Wildman is on 8, he goes to 8. Randy Morris is on 3. And Daryl Cyrus, who is bowling from the southern end, leg spin, comes in, and Morris having a swing at it and maybe we'll get 4. It's going closer to the boundary, and good work, but couldn't pull it back there, and it goes for 4. So some sort of production now by the St. John team, and 4 to Morris, who's looked positive since he come. He's moved to 7, and Wildman remains on 8. So it's 32 for 2. So looking to make a move on the St. John team, and they will really need to do that, and no better person to spark that than the captain, who have had some blemishes himself while he was behind the stumps. And St. George is continuing to keep a rather tight rein on things. They really haven't allowed St. John to get away in any way. Cyrus tosses it high and again just plays up on the offside towards extra cover. And St. John continue to be kept tight. Cyrus giving the ball generous flight, and the batsmen haven't coped well at all, Ashley, with the attack forward by St. George's, but much to the the technique and of the St. John's players. They haven't been able to really do better in terms of the rate of scoring. But the captain has come in. Here's another single to him. Delivery, he just pushes into the offside. Probably we should have been seeing a lot more of that earlier in the innings of St. John.
Definitely. So the rotation of the strike is very important in all aspects of the game, and we have not seen much of that coming from the openers, the frontline batsmen from St. John. Not much of a plan was there in terms of wanting to get there to the 150 mark. I'm just still trying to comprehend what was the talk in the dressing room before they went out. But definitely we haven't seen any plan of how they'll get that runs.
13.44 required rate, really. I mean, some teams will still get that in T20, but does St. John have the quality to do that? And coming off the boundary again from the mid wicket boundary to the fielding to provide another single, this time to Morris, who has looked quite busy since he has come. So he has gone past Wildman, who is on 8, 34 for 2. Wildman off the back for this time and pulls it away through behind square on the onside. Redhead comes quickly in from the backward of square boundary to do the fielding, and again seen a little problems by both keepers so far. We've seen so far in the game haven't had good days at all.
Yeah, definitely. So the wicket keepers have not been up to standard and thus far.
Tossed up, and what was that? Looking for a stumping.
The bill is still up.
What has happened?
That's my laugh there. The bill is still
there were
up
so
now.
many things to laugh for there. Actually, you have to,
And there's always a kind of comical part of the game.
Yes.
And, what an excitement there, and the bills is still on.
How do you explain cricket? Randy Morris is on 9. Wildman is on 9, and of course Kem Charles. Delivery again beating Randy outside the off stump, and his total remains on 35 for 2 St. John. Charles is in his second over, nearing the end of his second over, 1.4 overs, 8 runs, as he moves again from the northern end and pulled in the air, and that could fall safely. No, a brilliant catch by Redhead. Well, Redhead coming off the backward of square boundary. The ball was hit in the air by Morris, didn't keep it down, and Redhead coming off the boundary really took a marvelous catch, and that's what you want to see. So Kem Charles has picked up a wicket at delivery just on about the off stump, making some height.
110%. I'll mark him for that catch. the man going towards it, going the opposite direction, realizing that he's coming, so he just move aside and allow him to take what is just a magnificent catch.
Well, one expect that standard from Redhead, who is with the, of course, with the Winwood Volcano and training on a very regular basis, and this is the type of standard we expect to see from these guys.
Definitely so. When you're exposed to this kind of training and being around this kind of experience, you have to match up, and this is what he has shown. Show that he's at a very much higher standard. And for 3 wickets down, St. John's still continue to struggle.
Yes, and Kem Charles 1.5 over 8 runs, 1 wicket. He now has entered the wicket column. Isaiah Simon has come in, and Dwight Wildman is still there. Maybe his role is to just bat through the innings and the other players play around him.
Well, batting through the innings, you're going to be scoring runs. That's what it is. Once you're going to be occupying the wicket in this shorter version of the game, you're going to be scoring runs.
Well, for 14 and a half now, the required rate, and we know for sure Simon would be busy, and again still has to cope with Wildman. So I hope there isn't a run out anytime soon. Wildman pulls it away down towards the boundary, and the fielder just flicking it back and having some assistance there too.
Some good work there from. Just can pick that player there first from St. George. That's Cyrus.
Yeah, on the boundary.
Yeah, it's coming around the boundary and doing quite well. Covering that.
That was been Jeremiah.
Jeremiah,
Coming
up the boundary and really doing a very good bit of work there. So is the end of the over?
Yes, and this has further restricted St. John to 37 for 3. Dwight Wildman is on 11. Simon hasn't yet faced the ball. He will do so soon. Very diminutive figure, actually. Must put him in his pocket and go home with him.
And a player with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him a few years ago in Dominica in the Winwood Islands on the 19 tournament. Live wire for the Grenada team.
Cyrus. And no run on this occasion, and the ball is played back up towards Cyrus, who flips the ball from hand to hand. Merrily goes back to his mark, Cyrus, as he comes in, just sway of the arm, comes in. Not a very long run up, just a couple steps and bowls. And again, similar response by the batsman. And of course,
well, at one time I thought he was aiming corner, but with the ball coming back a bit sharply, so he just had to change his mind.
He drives beautifully now. They feel that long off, has to do some work, Redhead again. And the return comes back up. Powerful return from Redhead. 1 bounce into the keeper. But Simon picks up 2 to take him off the mark. So he's on 2. 39 for 3. Extras 7. Doing much better than St. John. Yes. And of course not much indentation in the required rate, which keeps going up. Now 15, almost nearing 15 and a half. Cyrus moves in again, a delivery which is beaten outside the off stump. Again, looking to rock onto the back foot and probably crash it through the offside. The length wasn't quite right for that.
Well, the big question is, when will St. John break that spell and get into some run scoring?
Well, they found themselves almost between a rock and a hard place. Yes. Cyrus again, this time delivery, no timing at all. But just looking to hit the ball too hard. Maybe just knock it down towards long and get some momentum going in the batting, and probably things will happen.
I just want to say a pleasant good day to my good friend out there in New York, Leroy Bridgman, a former Grenada under 19 player. Took 7 for 42 in one of the games in the early, somewhere in the 80s, 90s, somewhere around there. And he's listening.
Right, and the over has come to an end. At the end of it, Dwight Wildman is 11, 2 to Simon. 39 for 3 is the latest score here. And it's good to know that our friends in the diaspora actually is tuned in. And of course, this feed is going out to, worldwide, basically. And certainly, wherever cricket are played now, I think in this new normal, actually.
Oh, it's a very new normal for cricket. A very new normal for cricket.
It's for the world, yeah.
That's a game of glorious uncertainties.
Never show what the next game or tomorrow would bring. Well, what we know for sure, some of the results we've had in recent time as Charles again this time, Wildman looking to tuck it away on the onside again and really not finding himself in good position at all to play those shots. Charles 2.1 overs, 10 runs, 1 wicket. And a delivery which Wildman goes onto the back foot, just making some room and playing it out square on the offside. And he gets a single. So probably just getting a little bit, starting to flow a little bit, Wildman. And the score goes on to 40 for 3. And 17 for runs per over needed, Ashley.
Well, there should be at least 99 runs now.
Yes.
In the chase. But they're really, really behind.
It's way behind there. 5 and 6, 11, 12, 13. We're at in the 14th over. Will require more than extraordinary hitting from here to get St. John home. To wonder in terms of the team, what would be a respectable loss? Now we're talking about a respectable loss.
It doesn't really seem that there is anyone outside there who can really take that challenge on. I see Simon outside there who could be a very respectable batsman, but
Charles is top.
Oh well,
just running.
I was saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was coming down the track to look for, but unfortunately, he has to continue running out.
Well, at this point, actually, a batsman going out having to score at about 18 runs per over, what mindset do you go out with?
Well, just stay on the back foot, or stay on your crease, and look to the lever.
Well, you're on the back foot since you're sitting in the pavilion, since you're sitting in the dressing room.
Because then, when they are coming on the front foot, they're actually running out, so... Stay on the back foot and look for what is necessary.
You're tarring a bit with the English language, Ashley. I don't think figuratively you mean that you're just going to go run yourself out now.
What is to be done? St. John's just stuck and not getting out of that hole. Continue to dig it deeper. Apart from the pandemic and all that is said about, I think they still seen I still have seen so far and in this tournament some good cricket has been played. Wherever cricket is played, as a matter of fact, throughout the world, some good cricket has been played. The players, it all played in your mind what you decide to do.
The Charles got some success, 2 wickets for 11 runs. He's nearing the end of his third. 40 for 4. So St. John. Again, the asking rate, the required rate is just coming up to 18.5. That is almost irrelevant now, as delivery outside the off stump and the batsman Gringer just stretching and not making contact, almost touching that into the glove. Luckily, not to get an edge. So coming to the end there, that's the end of what is the 15th over actually.
So at the end of the 15th over,
14th over, at the end of the 14th
over,
yeah. St. John are really stuck. 40 for 4.
There should be at the end of the 15th over should be somewhere around 108.
That's what Duckworth is saying.
Yeah.
Are you listening to Duckworth? I don't think so.
Yes, I'm listening to him.
St. John are listening to Duckworth. Anyway, just had a short water break. And the players are getting ready. Cyrus continuing from the southern end. In fact, it's not Cyrus, it's Daniel. Daniel who was coming.
Another leg
spinner who was
very good.
It up, yes.
Took some 11 wickets in the under 19 last under 19 Winwood tournament, scoring something as 89 runs, batting at number 9.
Okay, they're respectable. Pushed up on the offside.
Very calculative in what he is doing. I think he's one of the cashier at one of the banks, one of the tellers.
Okay.
Yeah, and so doing quite well.
Yes. Well, I guess you'd want to cash in here. Wildman.
Very economical in what he does.
Pushes it up. It goes up towards long on, and off the boundary comes right head. And there's a single there for Wildman. Takes him on to 13. Finally, somebody has gotten 2 double figures. 41 for 4. Granger in his with a take strike, and he goes for almighty high court side. You have some wide signal by the umpire. Maybe coming to the assistance of St. John. 42 for 4. Now I think over number 15 now, yeah. So Granger is not out, and he's again. He just can't find the ball, Ashley.
Yes, well, he's locked in his stance, so
maybe they should attach a bell to the ball. Here is a delivery again, full, and it goes in the air. Will he be just over the boundary, getting enough on it? So
maximum,
yes.
Maximum.
It was a full toss, and he did look quite awkward though hitting it, but he did get good bat on it, and it sailed away for 6. So they need to for entertainment's sake, actually, because
just a bundle of those more.
Yes, almost 20 needed for over from here. So delivery goes off the back foot again, and this time gets it in the air again. It goes down towards deep extra cover, and there's another single. So finally there's a move on.
Well, 7 runs in 2 deliveries. That's quite a lot for St. John.
An explosion of scoring all of a sudden. Yeah.
With a field set on the boundary, Daniel just looking to buy into a wicket.
49 for 4. And looking to make some room and spank it through the offside. Can't do so. At the end of another over, at the end of it, Wildman is 13, Granger is 7. We're 49 for 4. And that's at the end of 15.
Oh, that's good to look to cross the first hallmark, get past 50.
Extras have really contributed heavily for St. John. 8. Compared with what the scores we had, and extras have done pretty well.
St. George is looking like they're going to pull off another 4 points here to add to their tally in the point standing. St. Andrew. Oh, that's a good height.
Combine height. He
got the cut.
He is out.
Yes, he is.
Finally, a delivery again, given a little bit of fair. And Kem Charles, who has been really succeeding here against the St. John team, he's picked up his 3rd wicket. He's in his 4th over, coming to the end of his spell, and it will make very good reading. I think that's his 3rd wicket. He should be. Yeah. So
the intention of playing, hitting that ball, it's a good intention, but he just hit it straight to the fieldsman, which I think he should be looking at playing that ball just a little more left of the fielder. It will be a safe all the way, but again, technique. Gotta look at that.
He's out not for not trying. I think he did compared with what would have gone before him. I think he really did try, and to be caught just about 10 meters off the boundary. Excellent. So Ronick Holder is coming, and he'll be facing Kem Charles, who was now in his final over. 3 wickets edged and between the keeper and the slip. Yeah. And that's Wildman enjoying and riding his luck. So he adds 2 more, goes to 15. And in over number 16, in the 16th of 20, St. John needing just a small matter of 103 to win. We'll take the rest of the week to get that. Was turned away again by Wildman, out behind square on the onside, and there is another single. So he goes to 16 and breaks the runs needed down to 102. Ashley.
Wildman seems to be enjoying himself out there. He's not a big hitter of the ball, but accumulating the runs however he can, and there's couple of the batsmen that went earlier with that kind of mind.
3 for 14 so far from Charles, and He just had another delivery, and there's no run. As Ronick just pushed it out on the onside. There is again to Holder getting a delivery outside the off stump, which he maybe tried to cut, but probably not catering for what looked like the googly. This one coming back into him. It's really going away from the right hander. As Charles comes in to bowl to a delivery again, which is this time stroked up on the onside by Holder, who went hurriedly for the first, but knowing that Wildman will not come back. So the end of that over, the end of over number 16, 53 for 5. 16 to Wildman, 1 to Holder. And Kem Charles, who has completed his 4 overs, his spell, 4 overs, 15 runs, 3 wickets. He had 1 wide, no maidens, and certainly has done a pretty good job from the northern end here for St. George.
Yes, excellent bowling from the young man in the circumstances that St. John's is not really on a hunt for getting runs, and keep drying up, wickets are falling, and the runs are not actually scoring. So in that sense, he had bowled very, very well.
As Daniel delivery played upishly down towards long on, and there is another single for Ronick Holder, and he brings Wildman back into strike. He's on 16 as Daniel comes in to bowl to Money. Again, there's acres of real estate on the leg side as the man from close in had to run away towards a wideish mid-wicket area to do the fielding, and another single was hard. So Wildman goes on to 17 and 55 for 5 in over number 17. It brings Ronick back into strike, gets a full toss, which he again plays down towards long on, and we're looking to hit it a lot harder, but not really allowing the arms to free. Actually just stood in the position, and the ball was really too close to him, and in the end just tugged it down towards long on, and he got another single to take him on to 3. This here is a delivery outside the off stump and played delicately by Wildman down behind square on the offside, but
very good looking shot there, Hector, but just not being able to pierce the field. Lots of acres around, and the batsman just not actually putting the ball away.
Wildman on 17 waits for Daniel, and just look to push it between the bowler and mid off, but the bowler Daniel comes across to his left and cuts it off. 17 to Wildman, 56 for 5 to win 98, so it's under 100. It will stay that way at the end of another Daniel over. At the end of it, Daniel has bowled 2 overs, 12 runs, no wicket. So probably maybe the most expensive of the bowlers so far. And in fact, Cyrus, yeah.
So there is no indication that St. John, the batsmen, they're gonna really look to get into the action and having some big hits. All they're gonna just look around, nudge around, get the singles, and
practice for the next game, actually.
Yes, definitely so.
No, this one is gone. 32 strike rate, the required rate. Yeah, so here is Pollard hit 6 sixes in an over. Maybe one of these batsmen can do it on 3 occasions. The outside the off delivery, which is a chance to be run out, and he's run out. Yes, he's run out easily.
Well, what was he actually doing? There was a run there. Yes, there was a run, but he just took his own time and ambled as though he. Oh.
Well, it's it's really a measure of what we've seen so far today. It's that of lackluster type of performance by the batsman. But at the end of the day, the result is Wildman is out. He's gone run out for 17, and St. John, who we cannot say they're in trouble. because what is it? 13 trouble is no more than 12. They were already in trouble from a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's one thing. I'm very much happy that St. John's is participating in the tournament, regardless of what happened. It's good to see St. John's back into competition in inter-parish cricket in Grenada, whatever the format is, and we expect to see them continuing to play in all the competitions to come, and that will be good for the youngsters in St. John.
Yeah. So 56 for 6. Wildman run out. Ronick is there. He's on 3. And Oski Barry has come in to replace Wildman. And he's not yet faced a ball. In the meantime, they took the opportunity to just have a quick drinks break. As St. George not under any pressure at all whatsoever. As St. Paul had delivered outside the off stump and pushed up on the offside. It should have been an easy single. In fact, had they gone early, they could have challenged for 2, but no real urgency. St. John cannot really get back into the game. Soski gets off the mark. He's on 1. It brings Ronick back on strike. He'll be facing up to St. Paul. St. Paul bowling from the northern end here, or the end closest to the Darbo end. As he moves in and bowls to Ronick has a swing at it and he will be out easily. Yes, he is. So again, having a swing there, Ronick Holder, and the ball going tamely out towards the backward point, and where he's taken. So he's out. Another blow struck, and St. John now losing the 7th wicket with the score on 57. Ronick Holder caught of the bowling of St. Paul for 3.
Even if you are losing, you got to lose fighting, and we haven't seen much of that fight coming from the batsmen from St. John. Apart from that, the batting and the fielding, they are bowled well. I've seen them really bowling well in the game, but the batting and the fielding thus far has really let them down badly.
So here is St. Paul on his way to bowl to Barry, who to do the deliveries, looking to steer it away, cut it away down towards a backward point, and he can't make contact, and goes away to the keeper. So here again is St. Paul. Moves in to bowl and he's bowling. He's just knocked him over easily like that. So Oski Barry is bowled by St. Paul for for 1. He did make 1. So St. John continue to struggle. Not struggle, capitulate here. They're 57 for 8.
Well, as I said, Hector, the fielding and the batting had really let them down. But looking at the bowling, I think that they have a good bowling attack, at least. But they need a lot of work has to be done on the fielding and the batting if they really have to gain points.
Near the end, it's almost 45, the asking rate. And still needing 97.
Is that the highest asking rate in a 2020 game?
Well, I mean, I don't have the record to say for sure, but it will have to be something very close to that. Having to score 44 runs for over. It's really the only batsmen haven't really done justice to the chase at all, actually.
The wicket have not been devilish. We haven't seen anything like that. The outfield was just a little bit slow in the beginning, but the application here, the plan here from St. John's, I don't know if they had whatever they have had, they just didn't work out here today again for them. I got to go back to the drawing board.
Ramnat too bowled pretty well. He's coming now to bat, taking strike from St. Paul, and again beaten outside the off stump and delivery, which really zipped through. And good bounce, good carry to the keeper. So welcome to Ramnat. It's brought the end of another over from St. Paul at the end of it. He has finished his four, and he's taken 2 wickets for 3 runs. So it's been very economical. And at the end of it, St. John there 57 for 8. And Ramnat is on north. Antoine has not yet scored. So they both have not yet scored. And at the end of over number 18 with only 2 to go, St. John probably seen well, the end. I can't say the end is now. It's the end of the road for them anyway. So it's Daniel who continue from the southern end. Okay, so Daniel will continue from the southern end, and Antoine will be taking strike. Rashid Daniel comes in, right arm over the wicket to bowl to Antoine. Antoine goes up the back foot and plays it cheekily out to the offside. There's a chance for a run out, and he run out easy. Yes, he's run out.
Just shot.
And really, it was a cheeky single. It was a very, very I don't know how to describe it, Ashley, but it was never on. Antoine just pushed it to the man at a backward point. That is was there. That delivery just pushed out towards backward point.
Straight to the man.
Yes.
Attacking now.
Yes, and that looked like set.
Oh, very suicidal.
Yes, very suicidal thing. And he was run out. So for that trouble, 9 wickets down now for St. John Ramnat, who have bowled well in the St. John inning. Really had to go by the run-out route now, and that's the end of day for them. And 57 for 9. Antoine was not yet scored.
As I said, it's a good thing to see St. John's back in cricket. It's a very long time we haven't seen them in cricket in Grenada, but it's a very good thing to see them back in cricket, and all they have to do is to continue on whatever program they have, just continue working on it, and to ensure that cricket has been served in the parish, and it all goes well for cricket development, continue the cricket development in Grenada.
So Williams has come out, the last batsman for St. John, and it's just about the final rights being delivered, Ashley. So the bowling attack of St. George will make very, very good reading. Yeah, because the St. John batsman really never possessed the skill to handle such. Rather awkward play there. So Daniel should be licking his lips, probably expecting to pick that wicket up. As the ball is tugged down towards long on, and there's a single for Williams. So it's done better than most of the others. He has come off the mark. St. John 58 for 9. I wouldn't mention 64 for runs needed. It's a delivery which is pushed up on the onside, and the bowler tried to use his foot to effect the save. Only eluding it and went past him for a single.
Could be very dangerous when bowlers are using their feet rather than their hands.
So both batsmen on one. Williams, who to this delivery, is going for a big hit down the onside, down probably anywhere. It seemed like he couldn't have struck that through the onside now. It's Daniel comes into bowl to Williams, and Williams with his delivery is going for another hike again, and still again can't get back onto it. That brings the end of over number 19 with 1 to go. 59 for 9 is the score here. Win Williams is on 1, Anthony Antoine is on 1, and Rashid Daniel has completed his spell. His spell, yes. No, he has. Oh, he just completed his third over. He won't have another one for sure. So, so he ends 3 overs, 14 runs, no wicket. I think probably against, based on what you've seen, it's probably you would feel aggrieved if you didn't pick up a wicket, actually.
Yes, definitely. So I don't think that he'll be very much happy with himself not picking up a wicket. It's always good to have wickets. The wicket column should always never remain empty for a bowler. And when it do happen, you have to think again when the next time you bowl.
So St. Paul's wearing number 11, bowling not quite to the number 11. He's on the other end. He's on the non-strikers end. So, but he moves in now to bowl to Antoine, who to the silly fish, getting one right up in the block hole and showing a little bit of flair and class. Yeah, just playing a stylish defensive shot back up on the offside. Probably should have come in a little earlier.
Well, the batsmen going to have a mid-wicket conference. I just want to think of what they will be thinking or what they'll be talking about.
Probably Williams telling him, well, let me get up to that end, 11 against 11.
Or maybe let's bat out the 20 overs.
It will be 10 again, yeah. It's a good shot. Antoine seems quite intent on pushing and run.
Yeah.
Especially seem to favor opening the face of the bat and playing out on the offside.
And so far, he has had a very positive approach to his batting.
So the end is nice, 60 for 9. Williams will wait for St. Paul. He moves in and goes for a big hike and is cleaned up. So that's the end of it. One expected that he wouldn't survive for too long. A delivery straight on the middle stump. Well, you hit, you miss, I hit, and that is what happened. So that's the end of the agony for St. John. It would have been, I guess, it must have been very agonizing. So at the end of it, St. John have lost. They managed to make 60 in the allotment of overs. Williams was bowled, the final batsman to go, bowled by St. Paul for 1. Antoine remains not out 2. To give you the bowling attack, Ashley, Redhead, he was good from at the top. 3 overs, 10 runs, no wicket. St. Paul, 3.3 overs, 4 runs, 3 wicket, exceptional. Charles, 2 overs, no maiden, 5 runs, no wicket. Daryl Cyrus, who completed his spell, 4 overs for 12 runs, 2 wickets, and Kem Charles, who did a pretty good job too, 4 overs, 15 runs, 3 wickets. Rashad Daniel didn't pick up a wicket, but was not too bad either, 3 overs, 14 runs. As the formality, Ashley, is taking place when the handshakes and the pleasantries. I think after the battle, it's time to just meet and greet and wish each other well.
Yes, but the presentation to be made down there, so I guess as much they'll be getting ready for that in just a short while. But just looking back, and St. George's 53 runs in their allotted 20 overs, and we have seen Hazard with 44, a very good 44 runs coming from him in the middle of the game. And the rest of the batters, Jeremiah, Charles, they all contributed, looking quite organized and wanting to get onto much bigger scores, but it just didn't happen for them. But give it all, St. John's, the bowlers had really stuck to the task. You kind of really seen that they have had a plan with their bowling. The fielding had let them down badly all day. 17 bobbling with the ball in the hand, or misfield, we refer to it as. But later on, the batting just did not match up at all to the bowling of St. George, with the leg spinner of Daniel and Cyrus. St. Paul's coming back in the end and really doing it for them. So it had been a very good game played by St. George's, but unfortunately St. John just did not match up to it.
Well, we will see what happens in the following game. But what we can tell you is that St. John has been defeated by St. George, and badly so too. St. George is losing by 94 runs, huge defeat. And not much more, Ashley, to say as far as that is concerned. But we'll be back.
Getting ready for the presentation now, okay?
Guess we'll be back for game number 2. That will be game number 2 would be between
the fixtures are just loaded a short while ago.
Maybe. So we'll be back anyway for that. So until then, you just yeah, it's okay. So we see the roller, the groundsman out there just brushing away some loose debris from the pitch. I have to be careful. I don't want to say the wicket, Ashley. Maybe, you know. Always debatable. You see, the pitch, is it the wicket? It's described as one or the other. So, just ensuring that for the next game everything is in order. And I'm wondering if Pastor, if they've lined up anyone for us. No, I mean, not quite yet. See the St. Mark team is here. Of course, we know this is one of the teams who would be in action this evening.
St. Mark, I think St. Mark will be coming up against St.
Yeah, we see
the
captain
David
out there. Yeah. So it will be yes, we want to expect
that. Will be a good matchup.
Yeah. But again, Ashley, we want to just reach out to those of you in the diaspora, those of you who would have really played cricket. We want to also reach out to our friends throughout the Caribbean. I don't know, we have friends in St. Lucia, in St. Vincent, in Dominica.
Oh, not forgetting the folks up there in the northern part of the Windward Islands, Dominica.
Yeah. Silvanos Fontenoy, I hope you're tuned in. I don't know if you're getting the feed, the telecast. We're good friends of us who always, been part of cricket in the Windwards, and
Samuel Holder instead of St. Vincent.
Right, all of those
guys. Yeah, those guys always been locked in and
yeah. And some guys from the past, the TK, Thomas Kentish, who we haven't heard from for a while.
For a long time. Down there in Trinidad, David and Malik. A number of guys who have been in and out and have been around.
Yeah.
And really ensuring that cricket continues.
Yes. The boy who's been around with the volcano, of course, Phoenix Thomas. He was around for a while.
And a number of the local guys who have been there preparing the teams and out there in the parishes who are lending the support.
And I mean, it's all bad, Ashley, that we sometimes forget our own locals. We forget to talk to the people of St. Andrew and St. David and St. John who are listening. Often we
inside of Munich, inside of St. Andrews. There are some little corners out there inside of St. Andrews. The guys are really locked in pearls. Wherever you are, Tivoli, La Poterie down there. Yeah.
So sometimes we talk about the people in the diaspora, in the wider Caribbean, in the Windward, and we forget that there are people also tuning here with us. So all these lovely people, we say, good to you, lovely day in Grenada. So I know some of you may be on the beaches and so on at the moment, probably heading out to the beaches on a lovely Saturday evening.
Yes, a beautiful day indeed, and no rain. Although we say, but we might have some scattered little showers, but thus far it hold very well for cricket, and we are
well. So they have another interview lineup for us, so we'll go down to Pastor as soon as they're ready. It's my man of the match presentation. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the presentation here. Darrell Cyrus captured 3 for 14 against St. Patrick, and he received the man of the match for that last match there. And to present him, we've got Raphael Crony, who will present him, of course, with a check and also with a trophy. Darrell, a word with you. How pleasing it is for you to capture the man of the match. It must have been a good experience for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a very great experience, Going into the tournament, I was backing myself a lot to do good stuff, and at the end of the day, I executed. So that was good for me.
3 for 14. Did you expect that kind of returns at all?
Yeah, Quite frankly, I expected that because I've been putting a lot of work in the nets, a lot of spot bowling. So yeah, I was expecting a good performance.
And quickly before you go, rest of the season, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we're looking forward for to win the tournament first of all, and I have a target of capturing the most wickets.
And you'll get there, won't you?
Yes, of course.
Thanks a lot, Dara.
All right.
Then of course we've got the got David Hazard, of course, with us. Javid. Javid, tell us, you got 48 not out, man of the match performance here. How pleasing is this to you?
Well, I mean, it was a good effort by me and the guys, We put in the effort. We trained in Monday and Thursday, and then we got the results we deserve.
What do you think about your overall performance, your team's overall performance in this particular match?
But definitely coming out to that win, I'm pleased with the performance. But I mean, there's a lot of areas we need to work on in the fielding, fitness-wise. There's a lot of areas we need to work on to become champions.
And from here on, what's your motivation? What's your goal? Any particular things in mind that you need to accomplish?
Well, I would love to get most runs after the tournament. But my fitness level definitely needs to rise to a level where I need to score a lot of runs at a decent pace.
What was the most pleasing feature of your knock today?
Well, rotating the strike was one of my key part of the game, Definitely, we had a tremendous total. I mean, we about 20 or 15 short, but that was okay. I think we pulled off the win, and that is what's the most important.
Appreciate you. All the best.
All right, thanks.
And so let's get Rafael Crony, and he's going to be receiving man of the match today.
Congrats.
Right then, we've got opposing captains in Dwight Wildman and Cyprian Forsyth. So Dwight, was not the best day for you today, was it?
No, surely not. We wasn't disciplined enough in the field, taking the catches and misfielding balls. Plus, I think the score was a gettable total, but we didn't apply ourselves enough in the wicket. The wicket was not what we are accustomed to in training, coming from concrete surfaces, adjusting to the slow nature of the pitch, but that's not an excuse. We're supposed to do our best and get a runs, man.
Your bowling didn't look bad after all, but you just didn't seem to be able to come through in the early part, particularly of your innings.
Oh yeah, well, the spinners was doing the job for us in the early power play, but so I decided to play more spinners and hold back the pacers. Then the second pacer after me he did well, so I decided to bowl him through, and then the spin did the job for us.
Any real good coming out of this particular match?
Well, the bowling is a plus. We know we got good bowling. We just have to work on our batting.
Well, all the best. Any further plans for the season?
Well, we don't know if we have enough 50 overs coming up, but we're preparing for that.
Okay. So thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Then, of course, we've got the captain of St. George in Cyprian Forsyth. Hey, man, congratulations, you folk won.
Thank you very much. It was a really good game. At the top of the toss, we were targeting 150, and we got just that. And restricting them to under 60 was a good effort by the team.
Not necessarily your best batting performance today, was it?
No, it wasn't, but that's the way cricket goes sometimes. At the end of the day, the team got 150, 153, and that's what's important. It was a good total that we were able to defend, and we did just that.
Yeah, you talk about getting 150 odd. For one time, it looked as though you might get up to the 170 mark. That wasn't so. Did you sort of fall away your thought coming to the back end of the innings?
No, I don't think so. The boundaries here are quite big, so it's a lot of 2s and 3s to get. Not much 6s and 4s, but I think that we did well to get up to 150.
And well, you've gone through this particular hurdle. What's the prospects for your next hurdle to come up?
Well, tomorrow we have St. Andrews, quite a competitive team. So we will be looking to come out and execute the 2 games we won. Those are behind us, and now we are looking to come on tomorrow and do even a better performance than the first 2 games.
Obviously, you've been doing a bit of good all-round cricket. What's that part of your department that you'd like to see a little greater effort and performance in?
I think the batting, given our batting ability, we have the ability to get up to that 175 mark. In both games, the bowlers did quite well. So once the batting comes up, then I think we will be in a good position.
Congratulations, all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
So just finished speaking there with Cyprian Forsyth, victorious captain for St. George's. And of course, we've got another game coming up. So this is 2020 cricket here at the National Stadium. We'll have more coverage coming up for you.
And yes, and we invite you to stay tuned until we're back here for the match number 2 on day number 2, yeah, in this tournament. And when that time comes, which in the next few minutes, we'll be back with you. So until then, we expect you to join us.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number 1.
with the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.